realistically, it's all 90 players. If you can get them all to improve, it makes the decisions difficult, but it's good for the football team because everyone's better in that process. So it's been very, very competitive, and we've always had some competitive battles, but this probably takes the cake in this being my fourth year.
All right, that was Mike McDaniel, head coach of the Miami Dolphins. We say good morning to everybody out there as we get set for the last week, the third and last week of preseason football. And then Mike's got to make all those decisions along with his staff and the front office to figure out the 53. Do they have 53? Do they feel like they have 50 and got to go get a couple of guys? And he talked about open competition. Well, we know one position got taken yesterday. Matthew Judon did sign last night. 33-year-old pass rusher, 72 career sacks. Came in for a visit and signed. I was a little surprised when I first heard it. I was because of Chubb and Phillips and Chop and you think, listen, I understand. Last couple of years we've been shorthanded at pass rusher, especially at the end of the year. I think everybody remembers. I remember Bradley Chubb going down, having a great year, goes down against Baltimore at the end of the game. And I think Cameron Good got hurt in the same game, and you're going, holy crap, and where do we go from here? And you already had Jalen Phillips was already out for the year. So you literally calling guys. I remember for the Kansas City game, and I believe even the Buffalo game to end the season, you were scrounging. You were calling guys that had great careers like 5 years ago off the couch. What kind of shape are you in? Pretty good. Okay, come on in. Yeah, it got to that point. And then last year, again, Chubb doesn't play at all. And Jalen Phillips having another on his way to having a great career. He gets injured. Chop comes on strong. And so the only thing I thought, I'm watching Grayson Murphy and I'm watching Derek McClendon and some of these guys and Cameron Good, who's I think is going to make the team on, and he played a lot as a pass rusher and outside linebacker in this last game. But man, right now, if you're asking me with the new coordinator coming in, who's your best special teams player outside of your field goal kicker, is the guy that's going to make a lot of the tackles. It's Cameron Good. And there's value. There's value, especially now that this kickoff and kickoff return have changed. And it looks like, I don't know if it's going to be 70% like I was told, but it's going to be a lot more returns. There is going to be a lot more returns. And the teams that can go down and cover the kicks in good field position can save 10 or 15 yards. And that's a lot, man. Field position is one of those stats that we don't talk about because, honestly, it's not very sexy to talk about. But those coaches know about it, and they know the difference of good field position, how important it is both sides of the ball to back people up and to get great field position, have your offense jogging out on the field with about 55 yards from a touchdown, and you're feeling a lot better looking down, and you can see that field goal post is a lot closer to you. So all that stuff comes into play. So anyway, Matthew Judon comes in. I'm guessing he and Chubb will rotate on one side, Phillips and Chop on the other. And Grayson Murphy, Derek McClendon have had great camps. We'll see what happens. I don't know how many guys they can keep. That's part of what the coach was talking about. We've got some other news on injuries we're going to get into. Mike also talked. We'll have it later on in the show, not right now. He talked about the cornerback position, and listen, they're sticking to their guns. We like these guys. I know what you saw up in Detroit. They didn't say that. I'm saying that. But we want to let you know that we like what we see from this group. Ethan Bonner, by the way, looks like he's going to be out for a while with that hamstring, which is that guy's worked his butt off to get to where he is and looked like he had a real good chance to start and goes down, pulls his hamstring. I think it was the second quarter of the game. And so that's, you grab that. You're a speed guy and he can run. So he's got to get healthy again. But it sounds like, yeah, I still believe they're going to try to bring somebody else in from the outside at that position. But it's Storm Duck, Kendall Sheffield, Jack Jones, Jason Marshall, Mike Hilton. And I got to tell you, man, I haven't seen anything yet. I saw one good play in the preseason game, but Cam Smith, man, still hanging around. You know, it's not only how you perform, but if you're injured, you know, I mean, you can't play, but, you know, teams want to see their guys out. I know a long, long time ago, you'd be sitting in the ice tub, and they used to walk by. The coaches will walk by. They all would do it, too, and it used to drive me nuts. You can't make the club if you're always in the tub. Like, you're injured, and that was kind of the message. Like, can't count on you. And I got to tell you, Shoes, Coach Shula had to wait. Now, listen, I know these guys are sensitive today. When you were hurt or on injured reserve or it looked like you weren't going to play, you got treated differently by the coach. I'm talking about not the assistant coaches, the coach. Don Shula treated guys that were injured like, no reason to talk to you right now. You're not playing. See you in the meetings, but I don't want to hear anything. And you were like, it had a way of motivating you to get back real quickly. You know, once he realized you were going to be out, or if you think you're sensitive now, like, coach is not being real nice to me, you knew you were injured, you know, and it's like, you know, that was almost like you had a bad game being injured, you know, back then. So anyway, that's where they stand. A lot of competition there is, and they got to make some decisions. I don't necessarily think they got to make decisions at who's starting. I think I could come pretty close as long as everybody's healthy for this opener. Give you a pretty good idea. I could give you a pretty good idea of some of the rotation guys in there as well, off of the way they played. But the tough ones are, how many are you going to keep at every position? Now, all of a sudden, if you got a really good player and another really good player, and you're like, I don't want to lose them, let's load up and take one less guy somewhere else and make him a special teams guy. Tell him you got to make special teams really important to you. So all that stuff comes into play that coach is talking about. One thing they should be excited about is this draft class. The 3 defensive tackles have gotten better. They got a running back pushing for a number 2 position. He is with Jalen Wright. I'm guessing they're all going to end up playing a lot of football. And we'll see how Achane sets up for the first game of the season with a calf injury. And so that position looks pretty good. You got a starting guard out of it. Got a running back that's probably going to get some carries the way he's played. See how he, does in this game coming up in Ollie Gordon II. But, there's a lot of guys in good shape from this draft class, which was kind of told to us. And it's good to see that it's actually going to happen. And we're going to see some young defensive tackles. And I don't mean one, playing a lot in that first game against Jacksonville. So that stuff all will play out as we say. Got all kinds of NFL news, by the way. Xavier Howard signs with the Colts. So everybody's like, wow, he sat out all of last year, flirted around. He did take a couple of visits, didn't sign with anybody. And Lou Anarumo, who I spent some time with this offseason, now the defensive coordinator with the Colts, and had a lot of success here when he was here as a defensive coach with Xavier Howard. So they had and he came out and said, hey, whatever he's lost physically, he's got great instincts, great ball skills. He does have some of the best ball skills I've ever seen in Dolphins uniform. That goes with anybody that's ever played here. Pat, Sam, who all could track. I mean, you see their numbers. X-Man, like when he go up with a receiver, you felt pretty good about it. And so X at 32 years old is going to be joining the Colts. And, of course, Joe Flacco named week 1 starter for the Browns. The only reason I bring them all up is because the Miami Dolphins will be facing them, including week 1 against the Colts on the road just a couple of weeks away. Hey, we got a lot more stuff to get to, though. That's right, Mario Cristobal, head coach of the Miami Hurricanes, less than 2 weeks away from that game, one of the 4 or 5 super sexy games that kick off football. Give college football credit for one thing, all the whining, complaining we've been doing about all the changes we've seen in football. They got some great games in week 1. They got some, so much for playing all the weak sisters, man, in the first week. They got some great games. Can't do better in 1 and 2, but Notre Dame and Miami, top 10 teams, will also play, so we'll catch up with Coach. A lot of competition going on, a lot more depth with this football team. Carson Beck, a lot of things to talk about, so we'll have that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Coach will join us. But, hey, I want to talk to you about your South Florida Chevy dealers for just a second. Never a bad time to take a second, take a deep breath, and say, hey, South Florida Chevy dealers, man, you got it rolling right now. That SUV family, I've been part of the South Florida Chevy dealer family for a long time, and feel like I know the products pretty well. Spend a lot of time at showrooms and getting around South Florida. And I just want to let you know, cars, trucks, and SUVs have never been better. But I do want to talk about the SUV family right now and the all-new special, not the big boys. Just got a new 2025 Tahoe. People are going, we're hearing, getting really tired of you talking about it. The Suburbans, fantastic. All the space you could ever need for you and that family. You need all that extra space. You can't beat them. But I do like talking about the midsize, the all-new Equinox, electric Equinox, and oh, my God, just everything you need, really. All the space you need. It's got a great look. Really has it all for you to really enjoy yourself. Not only that, but the eye-catching exterior, that fully loaded, smart style, and practical dependability you're going to love. Right over to the other one is a Traverse, man. I call it right below, little brother to the Tahoe. Man, it's got a lot of space. So comfortable, 2.5-liter engine, giving you better performance and everything you need with a great look. Hey, that's part of it. And I want to let you know, Silverado truck, still the cleanup hitter of the family, still strong, still our top seller, and we make a truck absolutely perfect for your lifestyle. We got 14 dealerships throughout South Florida. See your South Florida Chevy dealers today for outstanding offers going on right now.
The Joe
It is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com.
All right, Woody, thank you so much. Mario Cristobal, head coach for the Miami Hurricanes, joining us this morning. Less than a couple weeks out from that first nationally televised game at Hard Rock Stadium on a Sunday night against Notre Dame. And Coach, thank you for joining us. I always wonder. So, any more scrimmages, or are you still competing at this point with physical practices, or you start to cut back a little bit?
Well, first of all, good morning, Joe. Thanks for having me. The practices continue. School has begun, but we are still have a blend of both camp-like practices while at the same time doing opponent work. And mind you, throughout camp, you do opponent work, but certainly it becomes a lot more focused right now. But we are maintaining a lot of the competitive situations at positions alive.
So I always wonder, because you have so much, I just feel so much better about the depth of this team and the veterans. And we'll get into some of it, but also some of the young guys to make you feel good about some potential guys that could really help this early this season. Is there still a lot of open jobs, or you got a pretty good idea right now who will start and who will be rotating in?
Well, I can tell you, we feel pretty good about what we know we can do well and what are the things we need to work on. And we threw a lot of guys in a live situations the past couple of weeks. And some guys are definitely ready, and some guys showed a couple of hiccups, under the lights, and that's all right. They're still a work in progress and still developing. And you make sure you're very blunt and very direct in making sure you get players' feedback, a plan to get better. You continue to enhance the ones that have done really well. You set your goals offensively, defensively, and special teams wise, and you figured out what you do well, what you feel you're going to be from an identity standpoint, and you roll with it. But you always maintain the competition alive because we do have, again, more competitive depth at a lot of positions.
Hey, so you're in a unique situation. This doesn't happen to everybody in college football, where you lose your top 4 wide receivers and your top tight end, who is one of the top tight ends taken in the draft, played a lot of downs and gave you a lot of production a year ago. So between the transfer portal and guys that you brought in out of high school, how do you feel about this group as you've now had a couple of weeks to see them here?
I feel strongly about them, Joe. They've been really, really good. And their work ethic is what really has separated them as, relatively a new group. When I say new, you just mentioned guys from the portal, guys that were developing, young guys, and other guys that just got here. It's a great blend. And there has been leadership provided by, in the form of C.J. Daniels. The guy flat out came in, and his work ethic, his regiment, his dailies are just they're big time. He's got all the tools and all the leadership qualities of a guy that could really make an impact, and he did. And he helped that room mature along with Coach Beard, Coach Varner, those guys, Coach Hofer. Those guys did a really good job of helping this group attain maturity more quickly.
Those guys I mentioned before, without saying all their names, they played a lot of snaps for you. I mean, they lined up and they played. It seemed like from the start of the game to the very end, with all the tight ball games you had with your 10 wins last year. You see more guys playing, especially early on. You could see more rotation, more guys at the wide receiver position getting playing time.
We feel good about that. We do. And we'd like to do that so that guys could play at their best throughout the entire game. But it's got to be earned. And we feel that we're on pace to have enough guys earn a legitimate 2-deep rotation where the quarterbacks feel comfortable with whoever's in at those positions.
I was going to ask that question. That's a good one. And I saw your offensive coordinator, Coach Shannon, talked a little bit about this. Carson Beck, like, he likes his input. He starts to get a feel like quarterbacks get certain guys, hey, I really like what this guy's doing. Does he have input as we get ready to talk about Carson Beck? Does he have a little input in as far as receivers he likes and who he feels comfortable with?
Well, I think his performance is the input, right? I mean, guys that perform well together, that speaks so loudly, you don't have to say anything. So I think it sticks out on the film, and let's call it what it is, man. If a guy's supposed to be at 12 yards and he's consistently at 15 or 16 or 9, well, you know what? We're not quite there yet, because timing and precision in the passing game, as you know, Joe, is critical, cannot be compromised. So we have honed in we're in a situation where we feel really, really good about who the 2 deep is. But we're going to keep the competitive part as to who rolls out there first alive.
There's 2 guys that like I said, hey, man, if this thing's really going to work, and I hate to do this, and I know you're going to disagree, and it's just watching, and it's the radio part of me here. Justin Scott and Ahmad Moten are 2 guys that I think need to take the big jump of consistency and play to that potential, and they could really help this thing. Would you agree? You're counting on those 2 guys a lot.
I agree. They have, and they better, right? It's their time. And call it what it is, brother. We've recruited those guys, and they're good players, and we've worked hard. And at some point in time, when you wear that U on the side of your helmet, you got to step up and do it. And it's their time, and we feel confident that those 2 are going to have a great year. And we push them hard. I'm going to keep pushing them hard, and they have the benefit of every day going against Inez Cooper and Francis Mainoa, And that right there that gets you more ready than any meeting we could ever have.
Yeah, it's good. That's a good point. Hey, so Coach, also, as you look at the depth, we haven't talked much about him on the show. I think this is like 7th year, but everybody's been raving about him. Mo Toure, how good has he been?
Yeah, Mo is a big physical, violent tackler, knockback tackler, extremely smart, plays with a ton of heart. He's a big league guy. He really is. And getting to know Mo, there's a lot to him, man, a lot of substance, a lot of leadership skills, and a guy that, he's been awesome. And I can't wait to watch him play in this system, which he's very familiar with because obviously he was with Coach Heatherman back at Rutgers.
I felt like last year we didn't really get to see Ruben Bain. The guy gets hurt right off the bat, comes back, had a little bit of production. How does he look now that he's 100% back for you?
I don't think Ruben's ever dropped off in production. I thought he was awesome as a freshman, and in the games he played last year, he did a great job coming off a pretty significant injury, and he's worked his tail off, making sure that he leaned up, became more explosive, honed in on his craft, spent hours and hours with Coach Taylor, just doing everything possible to do a better job using his hands, stopping the run, getting off the football, playing blocks. I mean, you name it. He's become a film junkie, and we expect an awesome season from him.
All right, so the other position that you went out and really fixed up through the transfer portal, brought in a whole bunch of guys, not to mention you guys you've recruited that are getting more and more comfortable in your system, and that's that secondary. I thought the day I was out there, man, everybody wanted to know how the secondary look. And I said, man, they get their hands on a lot of footballs. Have you seen that over the last couple of weeks as well, where guys are making plays back there?
No doubt. They're long, physical guys, and the young guys that we recruit, they're doing a great job. And I mean, it's a position that obviously you can never be short there. We've learned our hard lessons with that, right? I mean, football has become a space game, and as the year goes on and people get nicked up, you better have people that can cover, man, because if you don't, it's going to be a problem. These guys can cover, they can tackle. They're very they're just committed to the game. They're in here day and night, and we're going to push them. We want more out of everybody on the field, and at this time of year, it's more like I get away from praise and I get more on, hey, man, let's get after it and let's get more out of everybody in the organization.
Yeah. All right, getting back to Carson Beck. Everybody talks, hey, listen, every young thing and every level of sport now, we start with a quarterback. How's Carson Beck look to you? And we didn't have him during the spring. I thought he looked really good. Everybody wanted to know. I said, look, there ain't no problem with the arm. He just got to get his timing with his receivers.
Yeah, he's both met and exceeded expectations, both as a player and as a teammate, as a person, as a leader. And, it's kind of interesting. We've been at, I believe, 17 practices and an entire summer, and we still have a couple of weeks to keep getting ready for every single game coming up this season. He's been excellent. And again, man, just, this is kind of that neutral week, right? Like purgatory week. You're not in game week, and you're not exactly in camp and school started. So the bottom line is the work continues for him. We're going to push him. We're going to press him as well as everybody else in the organization.
All right, so everybody always likes to know about that true freshman class coming in, and most of them were in spring football. Can you talk about a couple of guys? I get asked about Malachi Toney out of American Heritage Plantation a lot. Heck, in his story coming out of high school, became the quarterback when the quarterback went down and all the things he did. How has he been? The day I was out there, he was making every catch possible in the middle of the field.
Special talent, special work ethic, special DNA. That's the best way to put it, and just getting started.
How do you explain, like, some guys come in and have that, hey, I'm here to play right now. I don't know who you guys are. And you got other guys, like, oh, no, I understand. These guys have been around a while. It's going to take, it's not going to happen overnight. How many of those kind of guys do you have in this group?
Well, I mean, I think, in the words of Art Kehoe back in the day, he said it perfectly. Recruiting is the most imperfect science in the world, right? I mean, I'd be interested to see what the first round success rate is in the NFL, and that's with millions of dollars invested in
true
research and assessing each prospect. So you just never know when a guy's going to hit it, man. Some guys walk in the door like Francis and Ruben, and I mean, they're ready to strap it up and go. And other guys, they take their, another year, sometimes 2, and sometimes even 3, Joe. And that was normal in football for a long time.
It was.
Now it's just because there's money involved in NIL and expectations and social media. Now, there's, again, everybody's an expert and everybody thinks they know when a guy should develop. A person is going to get pushed and he's going to be guided and taught and mentored up until that guy develops to the best of his potential, and then you keep going. And it may be day 1 and it may be year 3. Teaching is teaching, and teaching is a vocation. And brother, you got to be all in on it till it pops. And that's the route we take over here.
I didn't want to ask the deepest positions. I know we talked going into this whole thing about the offensive line and the running back position, the 3 guys you have. Everybody's raved about how good they've been. Is there some other positions you feel good about now that you've seen enough and go, I think we're going to be all right?
I think we're more on par with the rest of the country. I think everybody's trying to figure out if they can get to a legitimate 2 deep, I would say 2.5 deep, right? With some guys who are developmental. It's really hard to get there nowadays, again, with the way the portal works and, how, again, transient football is. But we feel that we have put ourselves in a position to be successful because of competitive depth, caliber of player, and systematics.
The other interesting one, because we've mentioned you can't talk college football without transfer portal, and it's important to everybody in the country now. How do you get ready for another team? And you've seen guys at other schools. Now all of a sudden they're playing the school, and you're trying to figure out how they fit in and how good they are. And they weren't on the team you're getting ready to play's roster a year ago. How hard is that to get ready for those guys and scout them?
Well, I mean, you do it all summer. Sometimes you got to even dig in a high school film when a guy's going to play in their first game that have never played college football. But same thing with coordinators, right, that have been in different spots. You look at where they've been and how they played against teams that have similar systems that you have. And then you look and assess at the caliber of talent of the portal guys that both came and left to assess, okay, where are the areas that we want to attack on this particular team? So it is a relentless process, but it is all offseason, Joe. It doesn't stop. And, I mean, you've seen some of the documents that we put together from a scouting standpoint. It's really extensive.
Yeah. So as we look at this whole thing, and obviously I could tell you feel better about the overall depth, and everybody wants to match up. Hey, how was last year's team versus this year's team? But as I look at, I would just feel, and I feel just talking to you the last couple of weeks, you feel a lot better about your overall depth for this team going not only for the first game, but throughout the year when guys go down.
We feel like every single year we progress, and this year is no different, right? And you never find out until the final game of the year and the final results as to where, you've actually landed. But there hasn't been a year that we've been here where we haven't felt better going into the season about what we have put together. So, and that doesn't stop now. At this time next year, we expect to feel the exact same way, if getting better. Yeah.
Listen, man, Coach, really appreciate you coming on, and maybe we can grab you one more time next week and talk a little bit about Notre Dame and everything else going on. But really appreciate you finding some time for us. You got another scrimmage, or you done with the scrimmages now?
They're service type scrimmages, which is, I would say it's there's some live play still to be done, but certainly you're morphing and you're evolving to your practice, your in-season practice schedule, while still just hammering away at technique and fundamentals, which, again, that's the camp aspect, Joe. We still want to continue to sharpen our tools as it relates to how we use our hands, our hat placement, right, our feet, our body position, balance, body control, all that stuff. So it's a blend for these next couple of days.
Coach, thank you. Really appreciate you coming on this morning.
Appreciate you, Joe. Go Canes.
All right. Mario Cristobal, head football coach of Miami Hurricanes, joining us. Talk a little bit about the competition and some of the guys on the team. You know, I always feel bad we can't get to everybody on this thing and talk about some different positions. Right now, though, I want to take a second to tell you about your South Florida Chevy dealers. I talked about them before. Listen, man, this is best overall products we have ever had. And South Florida Chevy dealers want to let you know we feel real good about that SUV family. And if you're looking around right now, the school year is getting ready to start up, and you could really use an SUV. And maybe you don't want the big boys, the big comfortable Tahoes and Suburbans. Maybe you don't. I like being really comfortable, and I love my Tahoe. But if you want to go midsize, that all-new Equinox, man, it's got everything you could ever want. Matter of fact, we got the electric Equinox SUV too, man. It's got everything that you need, the great look, all the space for you and your family to be comfortable, plenty of room for the family, for the cargo, and everything else. Right over the 2025 Traverse, one of my favorites in the family, spacious, comfortable, great look, and all the room. You can almost feel like a big boy with the amount of space you get in the 2025 Traverse. Right over to Silverado trucks, man. You can't talk Chevy and not talk strong, durable Silverado trucks. Man, we got a truck that's absolutely perfect for your lifestyle, whether it's you and that truck working 5, 6, 7 days a week, or a truck to get the family around, or you're just a truck person. You're going to love that new South Florida Chevy truck. And I'm telling you, take a test drive. We've got 14 convenient locations. See your South Florida Chevy dealers today for outstanding offers going on right now.
Miami Sports.
situation that fits. So visiting, for visiting purposes, we'll see what it leads to.
All right, welcome back, and good morning to everybody. Matthew Judon, I guess last night did sign. I think I saw it around 6 o'clock last night. Mike talked at 2 o'clock or 2:30 in the afternoon. So he has signed with the Miami Dolphins, 72 career sacks.
No injuries or anything, right? He was visiting for visiting purposes.
Yeah, listen, man. Listen, Mike, come on. We'll take a lot of
He
stuff.
was in town, bro. He stopped by.
I'm okay. Again, I'm okay, and I mean this, but don't tell me like, had nothing to do with potential injuries to Chubb and Phillips, and no, just we wanted to get more depth. Look, it's all tied in. We haven't had those guys the last 2 years. I get it, but you don't have to say that, Mike.
Well, there was some podcast account that was thrown out last night that they're shopping Jalen Phillips and.
They can't. Jalen Phillips, no, they're not shopping him. There's nothing. Yeah. Jalen Phillips needs to stay healthy.
They said they were shopping him for a cornerback.
Yeah. Jalen's coming off too. Jalen knows this. He's here.
It would make sense to make a move for a cornerback.
Well, so the theory, actually, the conspiracy theory yesterday was that he's hurt and it was worse than everybody thought, and that that's why he has. Listen, they're being real careful with it. They want to get him into the start of the season. And so he is doing a little bit of work, but they're being really careful with him, really, really careful with him. And they want those three guys ready to go. And now they've added Matthew Judon. So I guess my question is, so they have, a guy that has had a nice little camp. Grayson Murphy's played really well. They've raved about his pass rushing moves. Some of the things that he does, was injured all of last year and coming back, and he seems to make some plays. And then, of course, the other, Derek McClendon's been a hot name, although he got moved down a little bit last week. I'm watching and when he got playing time, so I don't know what that all means. But they went out and made that move, and I understand. I do. I was a little surprised. Wait a sec. I thought we were getting away from the older family of guys and going to do it with younger guys. But they're going, no, we think 5.5 sacks last year with Atlanta and had a good second half of the season, started to really pick it up. So they got another guy to come in here. But this all goes back to adding guys. And I understand this. At the end of last year, there was no Chubb and no Phillips. End of the crucial games, last couple games the year before, no Chubb, no Phillips, and they were down like 3 or 4 defensive pass rushers 2 years ago. They went to Kansas City with guys that were late in the year, were watching all the NFL games like you were on a couch. None of them had played. A bunch of them had great numbers in their careers. Everybody thought their careers were over, and the Dolphins are like, hey, we need some bodies. We need some guys that see if you can turn back the clock and give us a couple of snaps. And then on top of that, we had 35 sacks last year. Wasn't very good. Just not a very good number for as good as the defense was. And so they want to fix up that position, and we got to find out, can Chubb get back to Chubb? Can Phillips stay healthy? And what's Matthew Judon at 33 years old have left in the tank too? And so that was the move, but you can't tell me, had nothing to do with injury and worried about injury. Of course it did. But that's fine. The other, obviously, is the comments. I don't know if you have those comments. Mike talking about the cornerback position. He was asked about the cornerback position. We know Ethan Bonner's going to be out now, pulled his hamstring. Just worked his way up to basically being a starter on the other side of Storm Duck. And then, now everybody's wondering, what are you going to do a cornerback position if Ethan's not ready to go for the start of the season? And what we've seen from some of your guys, they've been kind of up and down in man-to-man coverage and everything else. Here's what Mike had to say about his cornerbacks.
What am I seeing? I'm seeing, guys play very consistent bump coverage relative to the rest of the league or teams we go against. I'm seeing guys that are making plays in the pass game and in the run game. I'm seeing guys play off coverage, reading through quarterback quick game footwork and progressing to a larger pedal and staying square with wide departure routes. Watching squat or corners play the game between aggressive reroute and bail, disciplined football. I'm watching people take direct angles on shallow crosses. These are all things that I usually don't speak on because they're very, I don't know, it's coach speak and what we do every day. But, the challenge is not to find the names that make us feel most comfortable on the front end. It's trying to be real and find the best players.
All right, so Coach talked about technique and fundamentals. And, hey, we got a bunch of guys that are doing it the right way. So he's happy with the group. I think the biggest thing is people on the outside look at the group and go, "Oh, I don't know, Mike. I don't know what." And Mike's going, "No, we see it every day. These guys can play. Not worried about them. We got our guys right here." So I'm going to be after this game and even watching this game and doing the game on the radio. I'm really curious to see which guys make some friggin' plays, get their hands on the football when they throw it, and see what it looks like. I'm not even sure who's going to play this week, actually, and we won't know, and won't know exactly what Jacksonville's thinking as far as their starters getting some playing time. I'll tell you one team that's playing their starters a lot. Joe Burrow's been playing a lot of football in Cincinnati. They're like, we're getting off to a fast start. We're going to get off to a faster start instead of these two slow starts we've had the last 2 years and play great in the second half, and it was too late. We're going to play more football early on. And so I'm watching Joe Burrow run around last night. Do you see that 15-yard sack he took? And I'm going, Joe, what are you doing? Joe, he's running around back there. He took a huge loss trying to keep a play alive.
That seems to be very good. And they got a problem with their defensive guy. They can't get him figured out. That's probably going to have to end up in a trade, I would think, at this point.
This Hendrickson thing.
Hey, some of these guys are going to start hitting the market, right? That can't get a deal done.
Well, they're going to hit the market. What? They're under contract.
But I mean, they're going to the trade market. These guys are going to be up for grabs, I would think. Terry McLaurin, you got to think he's going to be up for grabs at some point here. Right?
So
they haven't reached a deal by now.
They've agreed to money, but Cincinnati goes, we agree to money, but not guaranteed money.
Yeah, well, that's a big difference.
Absolutely. He's like, hey, no. I need all these veteran
Parsons
guys.
Another guy too.
Well, that's a younger guy. That's a whole different.
So do people start making offers now? Right? I mean, if you don't have the guy signed by now, it's just about over.
Well, everybody's a little strapped on money except one team. One team is talking right now about we may not be done. We like our team and we may take it. New England Patriots said, hey.
Yeah, they got a bunch left, yeah.
We still got money left. We had so much money. We got more money. If somebody wants to make a trade and we give them
terrifying if they added one of those
and add a
guys,
draft
right?
pick and geez, are you kidding? They think one guy they don't have, and
they already think they're a playoff team, I guess, right?
I wouldn't get carried away by the preseason stuff. That's the only thing. If you want to win a preseason game, you can. All you got to do is play the right guys and you win, right? And everybody else in 2s and 3s and you crush them. Buffalo looked terrible the other day. Buffalo, would they lose 38-0? The coach comes out and says, that's not acceptable. We got our ass kicked. I don't care who's playing. We can't lose like that. Who'd they lose to?
I think it was Chicago.
Yeah. Somebody that wasn't very good. So anyway, this thing is going to be interesting. But Mike, you heard it, and listen, one thing about Mike ain't coming out and being critical on. So to be fair, it's always positive. Even a negative turns into positive. And that's okay, man. He's trying to get the most out of these guys. But, I do read between the lines sometimes, like, Mike, you can't be gun-ho on every one of these guys. There's no way. But, hey, play the technique, and these guys, this is it. I'm really curious about Jack Jones. I really am. I am dying to figure out. I thought he was going to be a starter, and then of course 23 is chasing St. Brown around all over in that one-on-one drill, and we saw all of it. Everybody's going, "What the hell's going on there?" And he sees him. See the crazy enough of Jack Jones and the sideline and with the Lions players and everything getting after it. So anyway, we got to go to break. I have no answers, folks. I have no answers. I'm like you. I just want to see it. I want to see some cornerbacks make some plays, get their hands on the football, get in good position to make a play, even if a guy catches it. That's going to happen. That's going to happen a lot. Those guys last night, by the way, Cincinnati's players made some of the most ridiculous. You talk about guys going up and getting challenged by defenders and coming down with the football, but that's damn good coverage. Like, you're playing last night and Cincinnati receivers are jumping over just inches from you and you're making a play, man. No, there are no coaches getting upset about that defensively. Just not. Anyway, we got 7 o'clock hour coming up. We got a lot more stuff to get to. I want to thank Mario for joining us, talk a little bit about the Miami Hurricanes and competing. And so we know this. They've got depth. He believes they got a lot more depth and what he's added to the team. And he's got some young guys that he really likes. And I can't wait for not this Sunday, but next Sunday to see what it's all going to look like. Man, it's fun. This is a fun time to see. And, whether you think your team's going to be good or not good. And I got to tell you, especially for the Miami Dolphins, this first game against the Colts, who've got obviously signing Xavier Howard, 32 years old, to come in and play cornerback. This quarterback situation, everybody's going back and forth on which of the two former first-round picks is going to start. They've had their good days. They've had their bad. You got to get after that team. That is one of the teams in the group of, and you just, for the psyche of this team and importance of road wins, you got to go on the road and you got to win that game. You have to win that game against the Colts in week 1.
How about that new Omar storyline, though, man, with Xavier Howard now?
I haven't heard everything. You got to give me
No, this is great. I mean, Omar's been pushing for that one. Could you imagine if he, has a pick 6 or something?
Look at I'm happy.
Omar's been pushing that.
No, I know he has. He's been pushing for him to come back. There was no way he was coming back here.
Okay.
Did you ever think he was coming back here?
I don't know. He signed with the Colts, so I don't know.
He didn't play last year.
I understand that.
So
I'm just saying, watch him have a pick 6, and week 1, Omar's gonna be doing backflips.
The only thing I would say, and we got it tied in the same situation right now, almost identical. He did not play last year. He took some visits for whatever reason. I don't know if it was money, his workouts. I don't know, but he didn't play. He comes back. His former defensive coordinator down here signs him. I don't know what X-Man's got left, but I don't expect him to all of a sudden look like the guy that had 7 picks about 3 or 4 years ago. I just don't.
I hope you're right.
You think all of a sudden he just got, okay.
I guess we'll find out. What's the difference?
All right. Well, then when you talk about that, I want you to talk about our tight end the same way too.
Omar's just been all over the Xavier Howard thing. I think it's funny that it actually happened.
Omar's in your head. Everything he says, Omar's in your head on everything. He just lives in your head on his stuff. All right. Hey, Omar, good job. You got him again. Hey, we got 7 o'clock hour coming up, man. It's hurricane season. Protect your home with Loctite Impact windows, doors, and roofing. Got an old leaky roof, replace your old roof now, and you can pay later. Loctite Impact offers the highest quality roofing materials with lifetime warranty plus thousands of 5-star reviews. Save big on legendary state-of-the-art Impact windows and doors. Impact windows as low as $6 per window per month installed. Don't wait for the next storm. Visit LoctiteImpact.com. Again, that's LoctiteImpact.com or call 954-500-LOCK. I know you see out there's hurricanes out in the Atlantic Ocean. You never know which way they're going to go. We've been lucky. So far, but if you've been thinking about it, maybe it's time to make that call to Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing, covering all of South Florida for you.
Sport.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia. At Doral Kia, choose from 500 new Kia models in inventory, like the Sportage, Sorento, and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia, starting with the Dolphins. Will return to the practice field today. Miami will also practice on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, they'll have a joint practice with the Jaguars. The third and final preseason game will be Saturday night at Hard Rock. And yesterday, the Dolphins added pass rusher Matthew Judon on a one-year, $6 million deal. And of the Marlins, who fell to the Cardinals 8-3. Game 2 of the three-game series is tonight with the first pitch at 6:40 from Lone Depot Park. And, Joe, as far as Dolphins practices go, they did close today's. Wednesday and Thursday, they do have tickets available. We can go on their website.
Yeah,
pick those up.
Yeah, I got an idea, too. If you do want to go, especially to watch Jacksonville, I just want to say, just go. Forget the tickets. Just go. Seriously. Just go out. This thing about people taking tickets and then they're not. Just go. Most likely 99.9% they're going to get you in there. They're going to get you in there and you can watch it. The last two practices. And then that's it, man. It's shutting down, and we'll be talking about the opener against the Colts coming up here in no time. In a big, big opener. One of the learn how to win, find out how good you are. A team that's very beatable, that's sitting here still trying to figure out which quarterback's going to start, and which one's healthy, and, who plays the best and all the other stuff. So, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen with that whole thing, man, and with everything else. So, Dolphins, we've had Mike come out yesterday afternoon and talked about the cornerback position and talked about adding Matthew Judon, who comes in with 72 career sacks. And he came in. Listen, they once he's out there, went after him, and this had to do with injury. I just want to let you know there is no doubt that this had to do with protecting yourself for later in the season and adding more depth to that position with a proven guy.
Wait, when you say that, though, are you giving credit to the conspiracy that some guy's actually worse off than we know, or?
I'm not sure what you're asking me.
Well, they were saying yesterday that the big conspiracy is that one of these guys actually a whole heck of a lot worse than what they're leading on.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
know.
Buying into that?
I don't.
It's a depth thing.
I don't think so, because those guys. I watch them warm up, and they're not warming up like, "Hey, all right, I'm hurt, so I'm just we're just doing this."
You think there could be a trade in the near future? Because that was another conspiracy and rumor yesterday that they could be gearing up to trade one of those guys.
So I don't think they're trading Jalen Phillips coming off 2 years of injuries. I don't think that's going to happen where you can get fair value. So I think the problem has been Chubb and Phillips have not played a lot of games together, and they've been injured. And Chubb and Phillips got hurt, and then Chubb got hurt 2 years ago during that Baltimore Ravens game. And when we lost him, that he was having, first of all, he had double-digit sacks when he went down, and so he's having a really good year. And so we haven't had those two guys at the end of the season, and, all of a sudden, you're real shorthanded, a really important position. You had 35 sacks. So my thing is they wanted, and Judon and Chubb on one side and Phillips and Chop on the other. And, hey, they may keep Grayson Murphy or Derek McClendon too. Both guys have had really good camps. So I just think they're just protecting themselves for depth and less snaps for all those guys rotating in, and try to keep everybody healthy and give yourself a chance in December and January. That's how I read into it. But I know yesterday everybody was like, uh-oh, there's a trade coming. If they got Matthew Judon, they're going to trade somebody. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. But I am curious. Grayson Murphy, who everybody's raved about his pass rushing skills, I am curious to see what happens with him, even more than Derek McClendon, who's also had a really nice camp. They had 35 sacks last year, one of the worst pass rushing teams in the NFL. And as you know, again, Chubb and Phillips, Chubb wasn't there at all, didn't play last year, and Phillips missed a lot of games. So, but you can't say it's not because of injury that you're bringing in Matthew Judon. Of course it is.
Well, someone asked hypothetically if you could move a pass rusher, Chubb or Phillips, for a high-end cornerback, would you? Well, I think yes. Right?
Yes, you would. But again, you got two guys coming off. One guy had reconstruction surgery on his knee. I want to see Bradley Chubb, I want to see what and Jalen Phillips is coming off not one but two, coming off an ACL and an Achilles. And we're talking about guys rehabbing all off season to get to this point, and going to be motivated to keep playing in the league. So I just don't know if another team would be willing, without seeing those guys on tape in preseason, to trade for them, because the last thing they remember is an injury. So I don't know if there's any value to get a cornerback back, is what I'm saying. I get the theory, though. I'm not saying it's crazy.
Well, it feels like there's going to be some big moves in the league coming up here, right?
Yes.
I think there's some guys that are not going to get their contracts they're looking for, it appears, right?
Yeah.
I don't like at this point in time.
You don't think we're not interested in any of these guys?
No, I don't think we are.
Because Hendrickson, we can't afford what he wants.
No, I don't think
we'd be right back to doing what we did last year late in the preseason.
But there's going to be some serious movement here coming up.
So this is kind of like, how many teams get deals done though right before the season starts? And then you're going, why didn't you do this earlier? Now the friggin' guy's not in great shape. You're starting a year. Mm-hmm. He hasn't been doing your workouts at least. And now you're asking him to go from watching practices, and now you're throwing him in for 50 plays and he gets hurt. And you're going, you did that to yourself. Why didn't you just give him the offer you're going to give him? You caved here late and gave him more guaranteed money that he wanted. You got his deal done, but he's missed all of camp.
Like, out of all the teams, the Bengals are not surprising, right? But to see Dallas doing this is kind of unusual.
He does this every year, though.
I know, but this is, he's really pushing it to the edge here. Camp's done, essentially.
Yeah.
Right? What do the Dolphins have? What, 2 more practices after today for camp? And they got a preseason game, and then that's a wrap.
Then you're putting your guys together and putting them in position. There will be, I agree, there will be
I do think, by the way,
some
missing
trades.
Camp's a big deal. You missed the entire thing like that. That's not good.
So do you remember Christian Wilkins did that? He was here, but he didn't do a lot of drills.
Mm-hmm.
So start the year, he wasn't very good. Now he picked it up after a couple weeks, but he wasn't very good. And I was talking to coach. I go, yeah, he didn't do any practice.
Yeah. Playing a preseason is one thing, but missing practices.
Even the other stuff, though, you're missing all that stuff. You're basically going from standing on the sideline and stretching and doing a few, half-speed drills to now you're playing. Mm-hmm. You're playing. You missed all the steps in between. You missed joint practices. You missed, maybe a little preseason time. But there will be.
So out of those 3 guys, do you think any of them reach deals with their teams? And Terry McLaurin, they got to sign that guy, right? I don't know what they're waiting on there.
I don't know either. I think
the Dallas thing seems really weird. I assume they'll figure it out, but Cincinnati might have trade written all over it, though.
Since he's a little cheap.
Yeah.
And I said that. Now they just paid their 2 wide receivers and the quarterback before that a lot of money. And
their defense is so bad.
Yeah. Look, they need him.
Really bad.
And he's standing there last night. By the way, good for him. By the way, he's a smart guy. He's going, hey, man, we've agreed. They're breaking the deal down. Well, yeah, we talked to him. They've agreed on money. It's just he needs more guaranteed money. It was 20 seconds. This is about guaranteed money, and he's ready to come back. Then they show him standing there talking to the coach on the sideline. It's okay. It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm holding out, but I'm here because I love playing for Cincinnati. Just give me my damn money guaranteed, will you?
That's weird, man. These contracts should be real close to fully guaranteed at this point, shouldn't they?
Well, you know why they're not?
The NBA does it. Come on.
You know why they're not, though, right? You want what example do you want, Chubb or Phillips? No, I'm asking which one.
I got you. But hey, man, it's a tough game.
Yes, that's why you got guys going.
Guaranteed
that's
money.
why guys are saying, "I want that guaranteed money," and the other side, this is why we don't want to give you guaranteed money.
Well, I side with the players on that one, don't you?
Yes. I'd like to see more guaranteed money for all those guys. Absolutely, man. No question about
Maybe
it.
we wouldn't have to redo contracts every single year now.
But I do, like, first of all, half the writers yesterday were shocked to see the Judon deal, like thinking, wow, I thought Grayson Murphy. You hear everybody talk about his moves and his dip and the things he's doing, and you're going, wow, there's a lot of guys think this guy's going to be really good, like against number ones and playing. And so I thought, all right, get another young guy in there with two veterans like Phillips and Chubb. And they end up getting a guy older than everybody in Matthew
It is weird
Judon.
to see him sitting still out there, right? Like if a guy's sitting there at this point in time, there's probably a reason.
Well, it didn't cost him a lot of money.
No.
And so
But there's got to be a bigger piece to this, right?
I just think right now I'm looking at it, and if something gets flipped, I'll be the first to say I didn't see this one coming. I think Matthew Judon just adds depth onto a position, and I can't say it enough, folks. The last 2 years, at the end of the year, there was no Phillips and no Chubb, and it affects your team.
I know, but it would make sense to pull the trigger on something like that.
Like
if
what?
you could bring in a cornerback, it would make sense.
They keep saying,
unless that's how you want to play this season, right? And just say, hey, we're just going to have the best defensive line in the league.
They are saying we don't see fundamentals and technique that they see every day. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'd go out and get another guy personally. Yeah.
Do you think it's the best defensive line in the league? A lot of people, I've been reading around, a lot of people seem to think that.
The Dolphins
right up there.
Defensive line is the best.
It's right up there.
You got to calm down on that. Let's let them play some games.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming they're
no. But they're off to great starts, much better than my voice right now. And but let's calm down on that a little bit.
Okay, fair enough.
Man, you can't. I love what they have. I think they get coached up. I think they hit a jackpot on some guys. But we gotta let them. They gotta play.
You got an Asante Samuel Jr. text in here.
I don't know.
Morning.
I don't know what situation is with the physical. Nobody's gotten an answer on the physical.
Mm-hmm.
Neck and shoulder, not good.
Yeah. How those comments go over too?
I don't think they're affected by that.
No.
I what I was told, the agent right away after the father opened his mouth.
Put the fire out?
Yeah, like, hey, we want to let you know that's not how the kid feels. All right, that's
still
his dad.
Probably not helping.
That's his dad trying to get the podcast business rolling. It's not. Hey, you split them up.
But why
son,
though? Why do that? That doesn't help.
Have you heard this? Have you heard since though? It's like he's kind of backed off a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well,
the father is kind of
like
all of a sudden the family went, hey, we'd like to see him play here in our backyard where we live. Went to St. Thomas. He's a local guy. He'd like to play here. So maybe he can't. Yeah. Anyway, hey, we got to go to break here. We've got a lot of stuff. I don't know, folks. I don't think there's something behind this, but maybe there could be. But I do know we have not been in very good shape with pass rushers when those guys go down. We have, and
we like a good conspiracy, though. We like to try to connect the dots, don't we?
Yeah, of course.
That's always fun.
No, that adds.
What's the next move?
Hey, listen, if you can't do that in sports and politics, what the hell? Come on, man. Whichever one you're more into.
It's just more harmless. When
I happen to be more into this part. All right, we got to go to break. We'll take a quick one. We'll be right back after this.
Sports.
Before we get back to the show here, Joe, I want to let you know we are going to be giving you a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Hobby Card Show in Fort Lauderdale. It's coming up this weekend, featuring 200 tables and autograph opportunities with Udonis Haslam, Andre Dawson, Jim Kelly, Brad Marchand, and more. Keep listening right here for details, Joe. And if you can't wait to win, you can go to the hobbycardshow.com and you can grab your tickets.
What a great show that's going to be.
Looking forward to it this week.
Bunch of my favorite guys there too, man. Wow, that's all timeless right there. So get a chance, shoot on out. Good guy, talk to you.
Absolutely,
good bunch. So should be good. You say you're going out there, Woody? You try that.
Yep.
Good.
I'm not gonna miss that, bro. Come on.
No, you can't. That's
it's big for me. Husband, my son out there, we're going, man. I just got to talk to him selling some of our stuff.
Like, you are consistent though, man. You have since day one. You love the collectible business.
Yeah, we got into it, and we're keeping it rolling here. And found some Pokemon cards, by the way, last weekend. That was a big score.
And the little guy's into it now too. Leon likes it, right?
Sports cards, Pokemon cards, he loves it all.
Whatever Dad's doing, he said, "Hey, let's do it." And that guy loves it, man. So
we just need some Dolphins players to start collecting. I don't know, we need some long tenured Dolphins.
Boy,
you know what I mean? Like,
Woody,
you're a South Florida sports fan. I don't know what cards you're buying.
Those
Panther cards right now.
Those deals of seeing guys play 10+ years, unless you're a long snapper,
those days are
probably over.
Or a franchise quarterback.
So it's really interesting. I want to get back to these two things. So the Matthew Judon, and I've heard everything. And yes, I've had people in my life who said, "Hey, there's something else behind this." It doesn't sound like Judon and Chubb and Phillips and Chop. No, there's something going on. And then somebody called me that saying, "Hey, they like Grayson Murphy a lot, and he's going to be a big part of this." And I was like, okay. Which, by the way, you could keep 5 guys if Grayson Murphy can play special teams, like Cam Good can. You could do it. But bottom line is, you don't have enough of a pass rush last year overall. And the last 2 years, you've had your 2 top guys out. Chubb missed all of last year. Sometimes we almost forget. And so he is fully recovered. And Phillips, listen, those are rough ones, man. Achilles followed by an ACL. That's a lot of rehab time. And we'll see. He's still a young guy and see how he can bounce back from that. And Chop got a little bit of a scare the other day, but he's fine. Hell, he's back at practice the next day. That was a real small scare. Then the other one coming out, of course, and the Xavier Howard signs with the Colts, who you open with on the road. 32 years old, sat out last year. If you're wondering who his defensive coordinator is, he's the guy behind it, Lou Anarumo. Spent some time with Lou this summer. Couple of nights, actually the ultimate bonding, drinking with Sweet Lou. And so he's an ex-guy. That was his guy. They had some great years together, and he's a big fan. I saw his comments. He might have slowed down a little bit, but his instincts are some of the best I've ever seen. And you can. Listen, guys, later in their career, if they slow down a little bit, they can still play. His ball skills are second to none I've ever seen. Would you agree with that, Woody? The way he goes up for it?
Yeah.
And I like he takes chances. And by the way, you can't get interceptions unless you take some chances. Besides finding the ball when it's thrown up and getting a good feel for where it is off the eyes and body movement of the receiver you're covering. And the X-Man was really good, man. You don't get 29 picks in this league unless was the runner-up defensive player of the year, I believe, just a few years ago as well.
Yeah, so that's a nice little wrinkle to that.
That adds a little bit, doesn't it?
Picture Omar in the press box. I know Omar's living in my head, but I picture Omar in the press box rooting.
He is in your head. But guy
by the texter called him his client earlier, and I agree.
What's that?
Xavier Howard.
Oh no, that's one of his favorite guys all the time.
So Omar's gonna cheer for him like a proud agent.
Yeah. By the way, he was getting stuff during remember that they're going through the contract stuff and they were calling Omar to see if it was okay. And Omar, like, hey, Omar, put this out there. And hey, Omar is getting all the good stuff back and forth. then they got it done that one day, and they put some money at the end of the contract. But so I was asked yesterday by one of our writers, like, did you think there's a chance he was ever coming back, considering the situation we're in right now? And I go, no. I think X was off the list. I think X-Man was off the list. Like, all right, you did your time here. That's it.
Would it sting if he actually ends up playing well there, especially that you have a major need at that position?
So I just got to tell you, man. Yeah, I'd be surprised if he had a great year.
Okay.
He sat out a year, and he's 32 years old.
They've made some weird,
and he's had
signings,
some knee problems.
Okay, but they've made some weird signings. Like the Darren Waller signing's even more unusual.
But Darren Waller's at least coming in healthy. He didn't quit because of health.
Mental health,
yes.
And this Judon signing's a little unusual.
Well, I just thought, honestly, we were trying to get away from, this was kind of the thing, as we want to stop getting away from 30-something, the guys on the other side of 30.
Well, why not go all in and just address a need if you're going to start, picking up guys that are left over right now? Anyone sitting around a free agency right now is not very coveted, right?
Well, Stephon Gilmore still, the names.
I know.
The names that are still
out there. But there's a reason guys are sitting there still.
By the way, the guy I don't know about, and some of you listen to me in the morning, I know are St. Thomas folks and know Asante very well, Jr. I don't know what his deal. He's by far the youngest. And to me, if he was on this roster, he'd help us. Yes, I agree. He is better than some of the players you have right now. But I don't know where he stands because there's a lot of teams still looking for cornerbacks. There's still a lot of teams looking to upgrade their cornerback position in depth. I just don't know where he stands with his injury. I don't know, right? Nobody signed him until he gets the medical staff comes in and takes a look at him and checks it out. But I don't think the father has anything to do with it at all. None. Good relationship with dad, bad relationship with dad. You weren't around for me when you were young, whatever. I don't know what the situation is, and the mom stuff. Do you throw a mother in the middle? I don't know, but I think it's been made clear. I was told that the agent got right to the team and said, listen, he's more than interested when he passes his physical. Whatever's being said by other family members, that's not what he thinks.
Yeah, just weird to make those comments. Like, they obviously don't help him, but
that, like Chris and Mike aren't going to go, oh, so your dad, huh? Well, what's your relationship with your dad? Okay. Oh, it's okay. Like, you're going to find out what the kid has to say in the agent.
Well, it'd be very tough right now to find anyone that has anything positive to say about the Dolphins anyway. So, he's just part of the club, right?
So I would just say this. No, and everybody's taking their shots at this team. Everybody's taking shots. I believe they need another cornerback. Mike. Now, Mike's never going to say anything negative about this team. He just doesn't. That's not his DNA.
And he shouldn't.
No. I had a good laugh with one of the coaches that talked, and I said, "Man, you're really good." And I said, I don't want to say his name, but we had a good chuckle about this whole thing. About, can you imagine a coach coming out going, our guys don't look very good this year. Any questions? We got a bunch of guys I wouldn't take, I wouldn't put on my high school team. Not going to do that. And our fans want that. Like, tell us how bad they are. Make me so I can really get. And Mike's like, hey, no, we like these guys. We're going to stick with them. Some guys were getting better. I think, again, Ethan Bonner was making a big move, man. Big move. And they were just like, wow, he did it again. He made another good play. He's consistent. He's where he's supposed to be. And he pulled his hamstring.
So your options are essentially at this point, trade one of these defensive linemen probably, right? And get your cornerback. Or you can wait a week, like Omar said. And Omar said there'll be 100 that are available. And I guess a bunch of guys will get released.
Yeah, but all those guys are getting released. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's not like you play with
out there, man. I don't know.
Like you play with three cornerbacks all year, a nickel and two guys on the outside. Everybody likes to have a fourth and a fifth guy, and you'd love to have a safety that can cover a little bit and play safety. Those are real special guys.
By the way, that's a tough position to address as well. Right? Like, that's right up there with offensive line as far as difficult positions to address.
Which one?
Cornerback.
Yes, cornerbacks are.
A ton of cornerbacks running around.
You hope your young guys come along. Anyway, there is a chance. I still, no matter what they tell me, I still think there's a chance that they either trade for a guy when at the end, or they release some guy. Somebody gets a veteran guy might get released who's a little disgruntled.
So who would you trade if you were Chris today? Who would be on the trading block? Someone offered you a middle of the road corner.
I think Chris would. Well, you got to go deepest positions, right?
So
and
you
the
go
deepest
defensive
position
line.
is defensive
Okay.
line.
So who are you trading? I hate to put you on the spot.
Oh,
here,
Dickerson.
Okay.
I'm not trading any
So
of my
you
draft
trade
picks.
no front line guys.
No.
Okay.
Well, you can get rid of your first round pick.
No.
You getting rid of Sealer?
No. Well, no.
Okay. Benito Jones. I'm guessing if somebody said we could use Benito Jones, I'm guessing Benito might be one of those guys.
Well, the name that keeps coming up is Jalen.
So here's the only thing I say to everybody. Jalen is coming off not one, but the last 2 years, 2 major injuries. And I would be surprised.
I understand what you're saying.
But we were talking about this during break. I would just be surprised if Jalen Phillips part of a deal coming off an Achilles and an ACL. So if it happens, man, okay. And I'm not saying Dolphins probably aren't out there always looking. I think those guys, I think all those GMs talk to each other every day.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of them, hey, we're looking at you. We'd be interested down the road and something to think about, and we'll get back to you and that kind of stuff. With all these guys, part of their job is to always upgrade the roster and have the best roster getting ready for this Colts game to start the season. And I don't care what they say. We need another cornerback. Yes, we need another cornerback. I think everybody agrees. I think Teron Armstead came out and said he's with the team every day. And he goes, yeah, we need another cornerback. And he's with them over there. Hey, I want to tell you right now before we go, we got to go to break here and we'll come back. Hollywood's headlines. And then we've got Kyle Crabb's going to join us. Love having Kyle on. He'll join us. We'll talk a little bit about this Dolphin situation and the Judon and the pass rushing and the cornerback position and X-Man and everything else. We'll have all that for you coming up more at 8 o'clock. Right now, I want to tell you about Atlantic Men's Clinic. Love talking about it because I got great results and I know you will too. So every guy out there, this is something really weird for men to talk to other men about. It is. It's just, but it happens. It's something we have as we go along. Low T kicks in. It does. And usually ED follows at some point as well. If you're going through it where your energy level, you're in a fog, you feel half depressed, you're just not yourself, tired, you just find yourself always tired. You got a physical and they go, nothing wrong. You're just tired. Your sex drive follows that when you're not around. First, it's a hit and miss from weekend to weekend, and now it's just a miss, if you know what I mean, in that bedroom. Well, Atlantic Men's Clinic, this is what they take care of, and they do it quickly, and they do it the right way. The professional way is knock out ED and low T. It will happen to every man out there. Every man out there. Nobody gets a hall pass and go, oh, you're the one. Your whole life never had any problem with low T and ED. Doesn't happen. Every guy gets affected by it. So you got to decide, do you want to do something about it, or do you just want to become good friends and tired all the time with your partner? Well, if that's you, then you don't need Atlantic Men's Clinic. Boy, I'll tell you what, I got great results in my late 60s, and I know you will get great results whether you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s. Schedule a consultation with Atlantic Men's Clinic. Set it up today. You get the T, the PSA test. You meet with their professional staff. Better yet, we have 7 locations, so you have one close to you, including our brand new one in Hollywood. Look them up. Just go to AtlanticMen'sClinic.com, but set up that first appointment. If this is something that's really been bothering you, 877-455-7300. Hey, especially your sex drive being gone and it's starting to affect your life. I know it did mine, and I made the call, and I'm so glad I did. And you'll get great results fast. That's the number one question I get. How long before it kicks in? Quickly. 877-455-7300 for Atlantic Men's Clinic. Set up that first appointment. Do it today. You'll feel better.
now, it's time for Hollywood's headlines. Without further ado, here's Hollywood.
All right, Woody. What do you have for us today?
Let's start with some tennis, Joe.
Oh, man. The guy got sick. What's he supposed to do? He didn't feel well.
Poor Cincinnati hosting the biggest tennis event of the city's life. And
1 and 2.
one guy getting
1 and
beat.
2. All these great matchups. And sorry.
What a quitter.
He was sick.
Quitter. He was sick. I don't, by the way, so I do tend to get duped sometimes by these Twitter accounts. I don't know what's fake and what's not. There was a rumor that, or a photo that someone posted. There was a screenshot of his Instagram story that showed that he went to an Arby's the night before.
That's not true.
So I don't know if
he said he didn't feel well.
Okay. So I don't know if that was
I
true.
didn't talk to him
they
personally.
Said he discovered Arby's and which by the way, I love Arby's. One of my favorite fast food places, but
great.
If you're not used to it, maybe it could hurt the stomach.
He said he wasn't feeling well.
This sounds very Jimmy Butler-ish.
All right. Whatever.
Come on, man.
Yeah, now you're going to rip. Well, so golf yesterday, now you're going to rip tennis today.
Oh, this guy's overrated, obviously.
Yeah, number 1 player in the world. Yeah, he's really
just
overrated.
Not a great champion. We need.
Let's see how he plays. By the way, great champ. Let's see how he plays in the major. So far, it's been pretty good.
Doesn't he always lose in the final?
You know he won the last major. Stop it.
Okay. All right, we'll go.
You know that? What's the name of that turn? Oh, Wimbledon. He won that one. Yeah, that one. Okay, go ahead there. But he's such a crappy player. Go ahead. What's next? You're on a roll, man.
Thank you. We had a fight at Titans camp yesterday. Did you see this one?
No.
Cam Ward.
What happened?
Got into it with his defensive tackle, Jeffrey Simmons.
Damn good player.
Yeah, man. There was a little bit of a shoving back and forth, and the offensive line had to step in.
Oh, no. Listen, that defensive lineman goes after your quarterback. All the big fellas got to
yep.
We got your back, man. Not sure they want to mess with that guy, but we got your back as a group.
Yeah, right. Cam, that'll be very exciting to see.
I got to tell you, man,
play.
Cam's taking over that team. He is not acting like he's just got drafted.
All right, Joe, this story is kind of comical here. It said the NBA and Players Union back tighter prop betting restrictions. There was
What's that mean?
They were trying to back further limitations on the types of prop bets that sportsbooks can accept for NBA games. It's according to a report in The Athletic.
Why do the players care about the gambling? Just don't gamble.
The solution would be to stop point shaving. Yeah.
Yeah. Just play. If you're supposed to play and don't have to do somebody a favor because you're getting a piece of the pie. Stop.
Yeah, that seems like the easy way to fix the problem. You know, There's
just no funny. Alerts. If you just play.
You see these stories come out, and it's just funny because the NBA has taken so much gambling money, right? They're in bed with every gambling company. You can't just by the way,
everybody,
we're going to change things up because our players can't stop,
everybody
running these scams.
Everybody said that this was going to happen.
And it did.
And that it's only going to get worse.
See, by the way, if Terry Rozier gets his name cleared at some point.
Hey,
hopefully.
I have no sympathy. Don't gamble. I don't even know what the rules are. I know it's not gamble on your own sport.
The rules
and definitely not on yourself.
I think part of the rules are don't tell your buddy to take the under and then leave the game with an injury. I think that's part of the rules.
Before you get to your 3 points a game and
yeah,
I got you.
There you go. This guy bet $1 million on a guy that barely plays. This is interesting.
Well, I'll tell you what, when ownership of these sports took all that gambling money, I went, oh boy.
Yeah.
And the old alert goes up.
You're always going to have someone, man.
We're watching you.
By the way, college players do it. You can bet on college player props. Not here. Hard Rock doesn't have college player props. But that, I'm sure we'll see problems there. You can see problems everywhere you can do it. How many NFL guys have we seen get busted?
I'm guessing that the Miami Dolphin players have been told, look, you want to go to Hard Rock, to go to Council Oak or one of the great restaurants they have over there.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Just stay out of the casino.
Stay out of the casino. Or even more, stay out of the gambling room.
It's on the phone, though, man.
I stopped by the
Guys
other
haven't
night.
had trouble staying away.
I stopped. I just wanted to see spreads. I went by and there were a bunch of games. I just wanted to see what the spreads were. That's all. I didn't go in. I just went to the outside.
A little window shopping.
And I was looking. I went, oh, okay.
Hmm.
Spread's a little bigger than I thought.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. Our final one here, Joe, takes us to your hometown of California here.
What's going on? You got anything good coming out of that state?
Well, this was interesting. So, you know how people have those cameras on their doorbells, those Ring cameras?
Yeah.
This guy, there's video, Joe, of a mountain lion walking right through this guy's front door. And the mountain lion confronted the guy inside the house. Apparently, everyone was okay.
That's a
but
Southern
is that a thing? That's a
so,
Southern California thing.
Yeah,
right?
Southern California going through it because my neighbors who came from Southern California said they had a problem with it.
Really?
Yeah, I was sitting there drinking Coronas with the guy, and I'm like, what? And then I saw the story. So, yeah, they come down at night, a little hungry. We don't have that in Northern California. We don't have that at all.
No? What do you guys have up there?
Well, you go up a little bit. You get the bears.
Bears stay to themselves.
You get mountain
right?
lions, but they stay up in the mountain. They don't come down to Marysville. It's a little town. They stay away. We got deer.
Okay.
Deer down by the river.
Yeah, but those aren't harmful.
No.
Have you ever been confronted by a bear? Did you ever run in?
I've seen a lot of bears, but, you're told when you're a little guy, stay away from them. They're not pets, especially when they have little ones with them.
Yeah, they look cuddly, though, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Go over there and give it a hug?
No, not going to happen.
Right.
Man, I see what's going on here in this state, by the way. I saw that the other night about some people want to kill we got so many bears now, and the others are going, oh, leave the bears alone.
Bears in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess we have
Where?
We have a ton of bears here.
I've never in my life seen a bear.
We have a lot of bears.
Have you?
Not here, but in the state of Florida, we have a lot of bears. Somebody out there was going to text it in and let you know. We have a lot of bears
in Florida?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of bears? Grizzly?
No, you're being dumbass.
Well, they're not polar bears.
You just, then you got to just say something. All right, we got to go to break here. Hey, I'm not even going to waste my time on what grizzly bears.
Have they migrated from California?
If you watch some of those shows I watch, the grizzlies are.
They didn't like the way things are going in California, so they migrated here?
Yes. All right. Hey, I want to tell you a second here. Everybody but Woody's invited to go to Baptist Health South Florida when you have an injury. Boy, I'll tell you what, it sure is nice. Woody, never again. I set him up, but I'll never do it again. Baptist Health South Florida's got one of the top sports medicine programs in the country. People ask all the time, where do the pros go? I go, Inter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, the Miami Dolphins. They all trust those great doctors and specialists. They put together those team doctors for the knee, shoulder, foot, and ankle, hand, back, hip, and knee replacement. I'm talking about top dogs here, man. You can't be a top sports medicine program unless you can have specialists for every part of the body. And if you're competitive in team or individual sports, no matter what age, one thing's for sure. Sooner or later, we all get injured. And it's nice to have not only great doctors, but great facilities to go to, like Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables or Hard Rock Stadium right next to the training facility, or 595 in Pine Island in Plantation. All you have to do is visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. There's one goal every day. One goal every day. It's about getting you healthy, back out playing the sports you love the most.
104.3 FM. WQ.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia. At Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia models in inventory, like the Sportage, Sorento, and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia, starting with the Dolphins, who return to the practice fields today. Miami will also practice on Wednesday, and then on Thursday will be a joint practice with the Jaguars. Today's practice has been closed to the public. Wednesday and Thursday will be open. The third and final preseason game will be Saturday night at Hard Rock. And yesterday, the Dolphins added pass rusher Matthew Judon on a 1-year, $6 million deal. And of the Marlins, who fell to the Cardinals 8-3. Game 2 of the 3-game series is tonight with the first pitch at 6:40 from Lone Depot Park. The Joe Rose Show continues now.
No, there's not. We're visiting for the sake of seeing if there's a situation that both parties would be able to come into an agreement of, hey, this is a situation that fits. So visiting for visiting purposes, we'll see what it leads to.
Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel there. It is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale. At one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, ToyotaofHollywood.com.
All right, Woody, we got a lot of news going on here with the Miami Dolphins as they get set for a week, as you just heard Woody talking about with Jacksonville. One practice with them, and then, of course, the game Saturday night at Hard Rock Stadium, the only preseason game at Hard Rock Stadium, and then final roster, and we are off and running for the Colts. Kyle Krabs, host of Locked On Dolphins and NFL analyst for A to Z Sports. Kyle, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Joe. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Thank you. I'm doing okay. Hey, so Matthew Judon comes in. There's all kinds of conspiracy theories out there. What I just took it is they needed a fourth pass rusher with Chubb and Phillips coming off injuries the last 2 years, weren't able to finish the season. Chubb did not play at all last year. Phillips had an ACL and an Achilles injury the last 2 years, so they just wanted to add some depth to this position. Are you reading more into it that somebody could get traded?
No, I mean, I would say never say never here with the Dolphins have under Greer made some splashy trades, but this time of year it's especially tough because you're trying to get yourself aligned to compete, and giving away an asset while you're simultaneously like draft picks aren't going to help you compete at this stage of the game. So for Judon, what I think about is you go back to when free agency first opened and the Dolphins reportedly showed a little bit of interest in Joey Bosa. And that never came to be where he ends up landing a deal. I think that was worth up to $14 million in Buffalo. And, you know, that was after they figured out what Bradley Chubb's adjusted contract was going to look like. And you knew you had Chop and you knew you had Jalen. So they showed interest in a veteran four back in March. And with all the other needs that needed to be addressed between now and then, it kind of just fell by the wayside. And here's their opportunity here. It felt like every vet that had no interest in getting through the full dog days of training camp signed yesterday. There was a bunch of signings yesterday.
Yeah.
And Judon was on that list.
Hey, so I keep hearing Phillips. Oh yeah, that's why they're kind of protecting Phillips, because they want to trade him. And I'm like, I don't think he has trade value just because of his injury problems the last 2 years, and he hasn't played very much, hasn't done very much in this camp. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think it would be really hard to find a team that would be interest amidst some of the other pass rushers that are still like available out on the market, like Zadarius Smith is still out there as a free agent, for you to say, hey, we're going to trade for Jalen Phillips, who's obviously super talented and has the physical ability to be a really dynamic pass rusher. And as you said, it hasn't manifested on the field because of some of the injury stuff. And then he's owed a fully guaranteed fifth-year option price that he's playing on this year. That's $13 million or 12 and a half in that ballpark. So just the price point with what his last couple of years have looked like versus what else is out there for veteran players that wouldn't cost you a player or pick. Like I don't see that being a thing that any team would be interested in trying to execute for.
Kyle, I got to ask you, everybody's all over the board. Grayson Murphy, a chance to be a frontline pass rusher, or is it, well, it's who he's playing against? How do you read into Grayson Murphy and the camp he's at?
I think Grayson Murphy has a great He's got baseline NFL athleticism, and he's got a great mind for the game because he's had to learn to reach this level of competition. He had to be a very cerebral pass rusher. And that's, I think, the root of the quote that Jalen Phillips had a couple weeks ago talking about how Murphy might be the best pure pass rusher on the team. It's because he's a guy that has like 30-inch arms, and that's not an exaggeration. It's legit. Like, he's 0th percentile for arm length for pass rushers since 1999. Like, it would be the ultimate outlier for him to have success. And the way that he's got through college and got to the pros is because he crafts these really good pass rush plans. But you see the physical limitations that still are manifesting on tape when he has to play the point of attack or he has to be a run defender. And I don't think he's so electric as a pass rusher that if he was playing up on the depth chart against the ones, I don't think you would see the same level of success. Now, I think there's a chance that he is warranting and deserving of a 53-man roster spot. Absolutely. I think that should be on the table for him as like the edge 5 or edge 6. But I think there's guys that are in that room that have more special teams appeal that he does that's going to make it really tough. And I feel like if Jalen Phillips doesn't have that quote about how Grayson Murphy's the best pure pass rusher on the team, and he's talking about how he sets up his rushes and the art of counters and knowing counters and using them, is anybody losing sleep about the storyline with Grayson Murphy? Like, yeah. I don't think so. Right. So, and it was a great quote, and I think he has a legitimate chance to be right when you consider some of the other guys had more tools that they were able to have success with versus a guy that had to mentally learn the game in that degree. But, you know, I still have him on the outside looking in for my 53 forecast.
Where do you stand on Derek McClendon? Another nice camp story. And again, a lot of the same things. You have him ahead of Murphy if you had to keep one guy? So
I do. And it's because of the traits, and it's because of the potential and what he can be. And, you know, McClendon, super bendy, super bursty, super explosive. It's really impressive to watch him try to turn the corner, you know? And I think that's where just the raw potential that he has is something that I would really try to hold on to if I could.
We got to get in the other position, the cornerback position. Boy, we have beaten this thing up since the offseason. Ethan Bonner pulled hamstring, and I thought he was on his way to being a starter. With Storm Duck. I thought he got to that point. He was doing everything right. And Mike comes out and listen, Mike's super positive about everything, whether we like or not, super positive, no matter what's going on. He's got a positive spin for it. Comes out and he says, I like these guys. I like their technique. I like their fundamentals. I got coach talk of things I like. Do you believe that, number one, and do you believe they're still looking to upgrade that position before that Colts game?
So do I believe Mike when he says that? Yeah, I do. I believe that they do have a group, probably the most pliable group that they've had as far as, hey, we'd like to run this technique. And the guys say, okay, let me work on that technique. And like from that perspective, I believe, Mike, that if we want to play press and cloud and we want you guys to fall off and play the flat and not hunt the ball, they have guys right now that do that. And I believe Mike when he says that, but I do wonder about what's the ceiling and what's the floor with the group that you have in the execution of what you're talking about. Like, you can be executing it physically, but then still be short of where you want to be. And I can't help but wonder if that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So I would be surprised if there's not another shoe to fall somewhere with corner. How big of a splash it is, I don't know. But if you told me that what they have right now is the exclusive group that's on the 53, I'd be surprised.
So, so Jack Jones, a week or two ago, I'm talking to you and I'm going, hey, I think Jack Jones is going to be a starter when it's all said and done. And then his one-on-ones against St. Brown went all over the country. And Jack Jones is like 23s on the backside of every catch, and you see it. sometimes in good position, sometimes not. What's your read on Jack Jones here? The guy that's got the most experience, started all of last year for Las Vegas. They gave up on him with everything with him. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this has been a good camp for Miami to try to keep a hungry Jack Jones, to keep him. And you know, the Patriots moved on, and then the Raiders moved on, all before the end of his rookie contract. But the physical talent is so obvious, and for Miami, I think it's. I don't want to say that they throw Jack Jones to the wolves and have him defend Amon-Ra St. Brown to see how he mentally handles it or anything like that. But I do think this entire camp of not signing and immediately rolling with the ones, and you're working your way through, and then you have some adversity, and how do you bounce back? And I think it's the right kind of camp to, if it's going to work, then he's not going to get too comfortable too fast, where you're worried about, you know, what has contributed to him not sticking with those other teams. And I think at the end of the day, Jack is going to be the best ball skills and probably the best athletic corner, and he has starting experience.
Yeah.
And that it's going to be hard to ignore that with what the rest of the room looks like when it comes time to make a decision on who is going to play and who is not. But it comes with the risk and the reward of he's always kind of been – it's kind of like Marcus Peters. If you remember Marcus Peters, who was with the Chiefs, and then he got traded to the Rams, and then he was in Baltimore for a while. He had some seasons where he had 6, 7 interceptions in a season, but then you're giving up explosive plays to go along with that.
Yeah.
And I just think like that's kind of the Jack Jones dynamic, where it's going to be a little feast or famine, but with the other names that they have right now, I don't know that they have a choice.
So Xavier Howard, former cornerback for the Miami Dolphins, signs with the Colts. That's a Lou Anarumo move, no question about that. Now the defensive coordinator with the Colts. A lot of people, not some, I don't get carried away, going, why didn't the Dolphins sign him? I told people for months there was no shot he was not going to ever be back with his team. I felt that way. What'd you think?
Well, the Dolphins spent this offseason trying to get younger, and Xavier Howard, 32 this year. And the Dolphins spent this offseason trying to have less distractions, and Xavier Howard's had his fair share of them throughout the course of his time. And he didn't play last year. And then he signed a contract that I think you could take the Dolphins' last 3 signings at corner, and the max value of what Howard signed for was worth more than all 3 of those combined. I don't think, other than the nostalgia's sake of Howard has 29 career interceptions with the Dolphins, it didn't make sense for me at any stage with anything else that they were trying to achieve this offseason to bring back Xavier Howard.
I wanted to ask you about the running back position. We've been talking about the draft, and so far I think you'd agree with me overall. The draft's looked really good from what we've seen. You see Ollie Gordon, the second, taking Jalen Wright carries against the Colts. Could you see that happening?
I don't want to get too far out in front of myself with Ollie, but I think he's doing a really nice job of getting the pads down, getting dirty yards. You know how many average yards before contact Ollie Gordon has on 18 carries in the preseason so far?
No.
It's about a half a yard per carry. So on average, across 18 carries, he's getting 1/2 yard past the line of scrimmage and then getting contacted by defensive players. And despite that, he's averaging 4.6 yards per carry in the preseason on 18 carries. And it's forced missed tackles. He's converted all his third down opportunities. He's doing a really nice job of setting up cuts to get north and get vertical and get what's available. So he's averaging more than 4 yards per carry after contact per rush. And that's the big difference right now between Jalen Wright and Ollie. And some of that, again, is, when are you playing in the preseason game? But Ollie's a big dude, and I think he's seen it really well. So I think that for me, it's reached the point where I would have them side by side, and I would have them competing directly for reps at this point if I was Mike.
So Jalen has, I'm going long here, but Jalen has, he's had some bad luck as far as getting hit in the backfield. Seems like I see that guy getting hit in the backfield more than any guy, but at the same time also feel like sometimes he's not getting the most out of his runs. What's been your take on kind of a quiet camp for Jalen Wright?
I think the big thing for me is what I felt the big thing was last year in how consistently are you reading and feeling your cutback opportunities. And that's for me, for Jalen, the continued work that I think is going to be key for him to maximizing his touches.
That's that's going to, hey, real quickly, quarterback situation. I'm just curious, how did you think Wilson played last week?
I don't think Wilson played as bad as he got dogged for. It felt like from a lot of folks, but you can tell. I think the big difference between Zach and Quinn right now is Zach, it still feels like this is a new system for him, and you can kind of tell that he's thinking about how it's supposed to operate. Whereas Quinn, because of all the parallels to Texas, I think Quinn's just kind of loose with how he's executing, for better or for worse, for worse in Chicago and for better in Detroit. So I thought there was, both guys, in my opinion, played better in the game against Detroit than they respectively did against Chicago.
Yeah.
And there was, I think, some, whether it was Zach and timing or whether it was Quinn and reads and progression, there's still room for both of them. And they said that in the post game. But I felt both of those guys respectively made some nice incremental steps forward from their showing against Chicago.
You feel better about Zach Wilson than you do Skyler from last year? Was it number 2?
Joe, you could have named about 50 quarterbacks in the NFL and asked me if I felt better about them than Skylar Thompson last year, and my answer would have been
no.
yeah.
I'm with you. After Seattle, I'm totally with you. Hey, by the way, Zach Wilson like to have 2 throws back. One down the middle with that strong arm. I was shocked he didn't get the ball out there. That really surprised me. And on the underthrown, of course, the one in the end zone. Pretty open receiver there, and just got it out in front of him just a little bit too much.
Yeah, I think the one that he kind of hung up in the air a little bit, he said that he got down there a little faster than he was expecting he would. And I also felt Zach maybe could have got to the top of his drop with his footwork a little quicker, and that would have helped him not have to drive the ball so far downfield. So a couple little things on that shot play in particular, a little bit on the timing of it with the drop, and then just Zach kind of processing how far down the field the ball was.
Kyle, a lot of good stuff, man. It's going to be fun to see what happens. Any big surprise? It's early, and I know I'm going to talk to you before then. Give me kind of a surprise, like we might be a little surprised on somebody that makes a 53-man roster or gets cut.
Man.
Or gets cut.
I'm going to go.
You going Taj Washington on me?
I might. Yeah. And the numbers at wide receiver are so hard. And I know you maybe would love a more prolific number 3, but I think you've got 7 guys or 6 guys, and are you going to really keep 6 when you got to keep a fullback and 3 quarterbacks and how many offensive? That wide receiver spot's going to be a tough one.
Hey, by the way, we didn't talk about this, and that's a good thing. I thought the pass protection throughout that game really gave both Zach and Quinn a chance to have success. It was the best part of everything that nobody wants to talk about. And if you're just watching that game, the pass protection from start to finish was the best. And I know a blitz got in there on Wilson, but I thought it was really good and gave those guys a chance to look like NFL quarterbacks. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree with you.
What guy am I missing on there that really played well? It's got a chance. It's got a chance on there
to make the 53.
Yeah,
I wouldn't sleep on McClendon in the edge room. I think he's got a lot to work with, and the showing he had against Chicago, like I think he's going to need another one like that against Jacksonville to convince.
Well, you like him, yeah,
but. Yeah, he's got great traits, and he's really bendy and fluid, and that's one that I would be trying to hold on to if I could, if he follows through the way that I think he's capable of, because he showed it against Chicago.
Kyle, thank you. Really appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on as always.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
All right. Kyle Krabs, the host of Locked On Dolphins podcast and NFL analyst for A to Z Sports. Joins us a lot here on the show. Always appreciate it. Cliggy's Carts, I appreciate them, man, featuring those Royal EV golf carts. Man, they are smoking hot. You know, when I went up there when they were in their Broward County location before moving up, boy, I'll tell you what, they are unbelievable. If you're looking for a sweet golf cart for you and the family, just to take those little rides around the neighborhood, or 48, 72-volt lithium battery options you get, they're designed and engineered to be the leader in quality and safety with aluminum frames, no rust ever. Adjustable front seat in all their 6-seat models. No one else is offering that. Custom paint job for you. You go in there, got a favorite team, wanted to paint it after you get it, they'll do it for you. And all your team's favorite colors, not a problem. Boy, they do it all. Sound bars, the LED lighting, just makes it really sweet. All the goodies you get with a Cliggy's cart is amazing. They are located next to Okeechobee Steakhouse on Okeechobee Boulevard in West Palm Beach. By the way, if you buy, give you a $200 gift certificate, stay up there and have dinner at Okeechobee Steakhouse. So you can't go wrong. Call 877-CLIGGYS or visit Cliggy's Carts. That's Kliggys. Go to Cliggy'sCarts.com. Cliggy's, man, they're slashing their prices on top of everything else. Nobody makes golf carts like Cliggy's Carts. They're special. So much more. So darn cool. Digital dash. There's nothing like their carts. If you live anywhere in South Florida, you need to stop by their showroom. Take a test drive. You'll love them. You really will. And remember this, Cliggy's will deliver for free anywhere in South Florida. When you get that new Cliggy's Carts and you go up there and you fall in love, you and the family, just let me know, because I know you're going to love them.
a chance to win here a pair of tickets to the Hobby Card Show in Fort Lauderdale. It is this weekend, featuring 200 tables and autograph opportunities with Udonis Haslam, Andre Dawson, Jim Kelly, Brad Marchand, and more. We will give a couple of tickets here, Joe. Caller number 5, 305-567-0560. And if you do not win, you can go to the hobbycardshow.com and you can purchase tickets. But we'll take caller number 5 right now, 305-567-0560.
Now, do you take your cards and go? Do you take some cards?
You can.
Trade? You trade right there, buy?
You can trade, you can sell.
Okay.
You can buy. Yeah.
Do all the dealers from around South Florida have stores? Will be there?
I would think so, yes.
Yeah. That'd be a big time.
Probably
right?
more than just South Florida for this. So this is a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, over 200.
Cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. And I can tell you, by the way, the phones light up. It's super popular.
Good price. And there's a lot of good people signing at this thing as well. So you can bring whatever.
By the way, you talk about, right across the board, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I know you're a big fan of Hawk.
Hey, you know what's crazy about that list? That list is people either played their college career or grew up down here, except for Mr. Marchand, and he's one of us now.
Yeah. He is.
After you win, you're no longer Boston's guy. You're our guy now, man. I was shocked. I thought he was going somewhere else. He was the one. I was not worried about the other two. I thought Brad Marchand was going to make the move and go somewhere else. You know, every so you're like, all right, sounds good, Mr. Zito, but you ain't getting all three of those guys. They did it. So they not only have great chemistry, but they have really good players across the board on that hockey thing. I know everybody likes to talk about Bill Zito and how you go about building that team to where you are back-to-back. My God, it's so weird, isn't it, to sit here and go, man, you are back-to-back Stanley Cup champs. And not only that, you've been in the finals 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row. And you bring everybody back. Everybody back. And you're like, all right, what's Coach Maurice got planned this time around as when camp opens back up? What will be different this time around? Give veterans a little bit of a rest before they start or go right back at it. But they're not worried. I've learned they're not worried about being the best team in the regular season. They're not worried about being a number one seed. They believe they can beat you. Well, they have for 3 years. They beat you anywhere, any place, anytime. And they're really good on the road. And it's incredible. Incredible. And I think the thing they don't get enough credit for, when you look at the top 100 players or top 50 players, Panthers got a lot of guys that are really friggin' good. Really good. Starting with Barkov and working your way down to a bunch of other guys that have had really good run down here in South Florida.
Ray took the tickets.
Way to go, Ray.
Ray from Miami. We'll have more tomorrow.
Good stuff. Good stuff for Ray, man.
Hope to see everyone out there this weekend.
Why not? Great location down there.
I'm still waiting for you to give me a Dolphin to start buying. Who could we buy on here, Joe? Who Tyreek?
I don't know.
Tua?
I don't even know what a Tyreek card goes for.
Not much.
Dan Marino
receiver.
Cards.
Well, so here's the problem: anything but quarterbacks, and it's a little dicey.
I'm guessing the history of the franchise is anybody's card except Dan Marino's card worth anything.
Worth anything.
His rookie card's worth.
Jason Taylor's got some cool stuff out there.
Value?
Yeah. Jason Taylor.
The Hall of Famer stuff's worth a little bit more, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm trying to think. I don't know. Maybe there's a Ricky card out there somewhere.
Somebody
it's been a little bit lean for the
people ask me like, hey, what's the most valuable, if you're to have something for hardcore Dolphin fans, what's the most valuable piece through the history of the franchise? And somebody told me the 17-0 picture and autographs of all the players and signatures of all the guys, because right away some of the guys passed away. But to get the full team together and have that 17, I'd still like to. I don't have anything with 17-0. It's one of the things I don't have.
Yeah, I don't know how many of those are out there.
Well, that's why.
I have no idea.
It's pretty valuable.
I know a lot of the Marino stuff is very valuable. If you had a debut ticket, those are going for a lot.
Yeah,
stuff like that. But
I'm always amazed people after all these years keep tickets, kept cards when they were kids.
Well, most people didn't, though. That's why those things are so scarce.
I think almost every guy, when we're together and it gets to this topic, we go, hey, yeah, my mom and dad moved, put it out, everything when I moved out. They put everything with 200 degrees out in the garage, and then the boxes had to go, and the first thing that went were my cards and all my junk, right? Just threw it out. And I remember calling like, hey, this stuff's real valuable. Any chance you kept it through all the years? No, we don't have any of that stuff. Matter of fact, you only that high school stuff, you might want to come get it or let it go. Yeah, just and people are putting between their spokes on the bike.
Yeah.
So anybody that was special that was thinking back then that had a dad go, oh, no, Johnny, put that stuff away. Someday it's going to be valuable. Nobody said that. Sitting with all those great baseball cards. And by the way, when I was a kid, the only thing that had value was baseball cards. Nobody wanted anything else.
Did you ever have any Babe Ruth cards when you were a kid?
I don't know. Did you?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You were.
Oh.
You were watching baseball then. I don't know.
No, I miss Babe.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. For the 100th time since we've been working together. It's about the 50th time you brought that
I didn't
up.
know you missed that. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you could do a little better job on the history lesson. You'd appreciate older players more than you do as a young guy that's been limited to sports stuff here in town. We got more stuff. We're running a little bit late here.
Let's talk about that era of baseball.
That's all it was. Hey, man, baseball was number one. Baseball was number one, man, in the 70s. Baseball was. Not even close. Everybody was baseball.
Right now, so the new football stuff's going to start coming out eventually here, right? Pretty soon. And you get Cam Ward, and then I guess Shedeur Sanders will be the most popular other card. But
will it?
Yeah, I would think so. Right? He's the most popular player from the draft.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's not even close.
I do agree with that.
I don't know if he's going to play this year, but he's the most popular.
I just think he's so much better than third round pick. What's that guy's name? Third round. Oregon.
Dylan Gabriel.
Oh, I don't get him as a third round pick. I don't get it. I don't see anything special about him. Nothing.
Well, I still think it's bizarre Shedeur fell that far.
I don't know.
The entire
all
league
stuff.
passed on him, except for a team that was like, oh, we have 4 quarterbacks already. We'll just take them.
We have seen teams draft 2 quarterbacks. You remember Kirk Cousins and what was the guy's name? Griffin.
Penix.
No.
Oh, RG3.
RG3. Those 2.
They did it. So he got that happen to him twice, huh?
What do you mean?
Kirk Cousins. Right? Wasn't he involved in the Penix thing?
Yeah, but I mean, they were drafted. He was drafted. I don't remember what round. I want to say 3rd or 4th round that year. Kirk Cousins was, and he went on to have a hell of a career.
He has had a good career,
RG3's arguing with people over other issues.
Well liked, apparently.
No.
He had a
Ryan Clark made that pretty clear that no one's ever liked you on your team or at ESPN. I mean, he just went.
That was ugly.
He threw ice water on him, man. He did. He threw it on him, man.
What's
no
with that show and quarterbacks, man? You got Crowder going after Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but that just opened a can of worms for everybody.
How funny was that, by the way?
Russell Wilson.
Hey, Crowder was like the originator of that thing, and then we found out how weird Russell Wilson actually is. Crowder was onto something.
You think Russell Wilson starts a quarterback for 17 games for the Giants?
God, I don't know.
I don't think so. That's one of those jobs where they're going, well, it doesn't look like we're going to be, we're falling behind some of the other teams in the NFC East.
He had an impressive career, though, you got to admit. I mean, for a guy that I probably didn't think he had much of a chance, right? That kind of career, pretty good.
I thought he made a real bad move forcing his way out of Seattle. I think that was a really stupid.
But that whole thing got very, very weird after they blew the Super Bowl. That ruined their franchise.
He got blamed more for that call because they're saying you're a veteran quarterback. You got to get us out of that call. There are a lot of people that were pissed. They got to win that game. That's theirs. Of all places to throw the ball. Yes. You throw the ball somewhere between the tackle and the tight end. And the worst part is New England was waiting for it.
Yeah.
The worst part is
weird.
There you go. Yeah, we thought they were going to do that play. Like, what?
But that's the kind of crap that happens with the Chiefs, too. Like, how do you explain that
I don't
happening in a
know.
Super Bowl?
I
Like
don't know.
Brady gets the win there. Like, how do you explain that?
I don't know. Let's go to break here, man. We got a lot of
Because you don't want to explain it.
No, I'm about 20 minutes late on this break. That's why. Hey, Mike Gokatsi at Choice Mortgage. Love talking about him. Love to tell you about the work. The man has no life. He's always working. You need a mortgage. You need to get the whole process started and get approved. This is what Mike Gokatsi does 7 days a week, man. Yeah. Get that paperwork going, get everything done, get everything filled out so you can qualify. First-time home buyers, we want to get you in there, man. Fixed rates now in the fives. Want to let you know in the fives. You can get approved. And, for first-time home buyers, how many times you get in there and you're trying to buy that first home and every time you come up short? Now we're going to go with somebody else. We're going with somebody else. And this way you get approved, you're qualified, you got a chance to get that house finally after everybody tells you no, no, no. And it's not just that, but I want to let you know, man, Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage has just been able to help so many people through the years with so many different things. And if you're self-employed, you've been declined by the banks, Michael Kotze's got a great program for you. I just tell everybody this, go to Google reviews on the web. It's Choice Mortgage Reviews. And they're saying a lot of great things about how quickly he works and getting you the best rates, getting you qualified, getting all that stuff done about half the time of the big banks. This man truly works 7 days a week. He really does. You can call or text him at 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. MLS 166254. Rates and terms are subject to change. Daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender with more than 30 years of experience right here in South Florida. Let Michael Kotze get that mortgage for you.
Miami.
Camp reports on WQAM are sponsored by Miami-Dade County Public Schools Technical Colleges. MDCPS Technical Colleges offer over 60 affordable accredited programs, day or evening hands-on training aligned with local employers. Call 305-558-8000 or visit careerinayear.com and launch your future today.
All right, man, we've got a lot of great stuff going on here in South Florida, starting with our high school football. Really going to pick up this week, including this Broward County National Football Showcase that they started doing a few years ago. It's now has 8 games starting Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And it's got all the great teams here in South Florida will be playing, or the ones in Broward, I should say, because Northwestern's not. And hell, Northwestern might be the best team in the country. We'll see. If there's ever a year, by the way, if I just get this out of the way before I talk about Chaminade and going to be playing, and of course St. Thomas and American Heritage Plantation. So Piper will be West Broward, Dillard. So a lot of teams will be playing. I know I left out some Broward County schools that will be playing there and be playing each other actually. But if there's ever a year, it would have been great. And I don't know why we're not doing it. We talk about it for years, and it just doesn't happen unless somehow they play each other in the playoffs, which doesn't happen very often. And it's too bad because Northwestern can play with anybody, including Chaminade, including St. Thomas, including American Heritage Plantation, who all have, I mean, they're all ranked as the top teams. And I saw Max Prep had Chaminade 7, American Heritage Plantation 8, St. Thomas 10, and Northwestern 11. Talk about all the high schools, and those 4 in the top 11 in the country. Give you an idea just how good the teams are. So that's coming up this week. If you're interested and want to go out and see some of the top teams from around the country, including a number 1 team in Los Angeles, will be coming out here playing. I believe that's a Saturday game. And I don't know where all the games are. I know some of them are at St. Thomas Aquinas High School. All right, we got to get caught up. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of news from the Miami Dolphins, a lot of NFL news. And Xavier Howard has found himself a new home back with the guy that he's very familiar with the Colts. How about that? We'll have more on all that stuff coming up. But first, before we do, I want to take a minute to tell you about my friends at Around the Clock Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Boy, I'll tell you what, I always like to throw out a couple of numbers. When you talk about air conditioning companies, there's a bunch of them out there, a lot to choose from. But when you go 36, 135, and 7, that's 36 years in the business, 135 trucks on the road every day, 7 days a week. Whether it's air conditioning problems or plumbing problems, we got the trained and certified technicians ready to go for you. And we've got licensed, experienced plumbers for any kind of plumbing problems you have. We have a warehouse full of air conditioning units, all different sizes, and water heaters. We like to call ourselves the water heater kings of South Florida. We have a box truck filled with all-size Rheem water heaters ready to go. Same-day installation is always the goal. Financing plans to always help you out. Hey, bottom line is the next time, and you're not sure, there's a lot of choices out there. Call Around the Clock Air Conditioning and Plumbing. We lost Big Daddy Lenny, who started this thing, like I said, 37 years ago. But still family-owned. Eric, Mike, Chippy, and the rest of them over there, been there for a long time, still working old school, getting to you as quickly as possible. That's what it's all about. As I said, financing plans to help you out. They don't want anybody to have to be hot at all in that house, as the billboards always say. And I just want to let you know, just go to 1-888-349-6922. And remember the name, Around the Clock Air Conditioning and Plumbing.
Kia. Choose from over 500 new Kia models in inventory, like the Sportage, Sorento, and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia, and we started with the Dolphins, who return to the practice fields today. Miami will also practice on Wednesday, and then on Thursday will be a joint practice with the Jaguars. The third and final preseason game will be Saturday night at Hard Rock. And yesterday, the Dolphins added pass rusher Matthew Judon on a one-year, $6 million deal. And the Marlins, who fell to the Cardinals 8-3, game 2 of the 3-game series is tonight with the first pitch at 6:40 from Lone Depot Park. And Joe will let people know again, today's practice for the Dolphins is closed. Wednesday and Thursday is open, so do not head down to.
Yeah, do not go down there today. But by the way, don't worry about getting tickets for Wednesday and Thursday. Just go.
Okay. I believe there are tickets still available online. Says, yeah, there's a link here to claim tickets, so you may want to just do that
or just go.
Okay.
Take the kids out of school and just go.
It's the first week, bro.
I know.
The second week.
You can't miss the first or
Can you
second
imagine?
week. No, you got to hang around for a while.
Boy, my wife would be pissed.
You took him out of school to go to a practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see that going over well.
No, that would not be a good one, Woody.
You think school is important for some
no.
reason.
I know. Probably right. Hey, man, we got all kinds of news going on here as we're kind of waiting on the league and trying to figure out what's going to happen, final rosters and trades and what's going to happen. I think, by the way, football, the way this thing is structured, they've got this whole thing down, because after this game on Saturday and everybody finishes up their third preseason game, then you have your cuts, and then everybody clears waivers. Then you put your practice squad together, and guys, and there'll be a few trades made. Let's not forget, there's always trades made. Somebody trades for somebody. Hey, we're going to let this guy go. Would you be interested? If not, we're going to release him. Or somebody else offered us a 7. If you offer us a 6, we'll take it. Or you have a better 7 than they have, we'll take your pick.
All right, well, I have a few questions for you. The first one is, do the Dolphins make any trades?
Yes. Oh, trade?
Yes. I'm not talking about signing any of these guys that end up, getting cut or whatever. Do they make a trade?
Before the cuts, yeah.
Is it going to be a defensive lineman?
Oh, you mean trading a guy away?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about trading.
Trade away, right?
I thought you were talking about
someone to get someone.
No, you can do a draft
trade
pick.
Picks, I guess.
If you're going to not going to keep the guy,
trade of any significance, I guess would be a good question to address that cornerback position, right?
Yes. They make one move.
Micah Parsons, do you think he gets traded?
No. Go through the whole list. Go ahead.
McLaurin.
No.
Trey.
No. I think they all sign.
All signed.
I think they're not sitting out.
Why jerk these guys around?
One thing about football, man, you can't sit out in the prime of your life.
I know.
Because at some point, no matter what you're making, even if you're pissed, you look and you go, and if somebody close to you goes, still a lot of money. I don't know what everybody's making this year, but you're going, that's still a lot of money.
Let's not making decent money.
Let's not lose out, even though you're salty and going to be a pain in the ass to everybody.
They've now missed all of camp. All those guys. And I know they're doing the hold-in thing where they're like around.
Yeah, but you know what happens,
stuff,
right? Does it seem like the guy that signs at the last second
gets hurt?
Those are the first guys to get hurt.
Usually.
Because they haven't practiced at any level. They stand out there most of the time. They go through stretching and maybe a little conditioning out there, but they're not doing any of the football stuff that they need to do, or they get off to a really bad start. They just don't look good. There's rust, and they don't look good for a few weeks.
954 says, I think they'll trade an edge rusher. I wonder if they try to move Jalen Phillips.
What can you get?
I don't know.
So
you even ask, I have no idea what his trade value would be.
Coming off 2 injuries, 2 major
He's very
injuries.
Talented.
I know, but the last 2 years, he's been injured. He has not seen the end of the year.
You just got to find another GM that likes injured players.
By the way, that's one of the reasons, though, even though Dolphins didn't come out and say it, Matthew Judon is on this team because of injuries. Chubb was out all last year.
Either that or they're trying to trade someone.
But what's your value off coming back from injury is what I'm asking everybody. What are you going to get? What are you going to get? Now, I was telling you during the break, I think there's some disgruntled cornerbacks out there that aren't happy with their situation or getting pushed by a young guy and aren't feeling it. And so I could see if we think that's an upgrade, us trying to grab one of those guys. Hey, I'm not so sure we're done on the offensive line and we're coming back with this group of backups that played in this last game. I'm not sure that's going to happen.
Okay, but what are you going to do?
What do you mean?
How are you going to get offensive line starters at this point?
Well, you probably we're going to pick somebody. We're going to pick somebody off a practice squad.
Okay,
that's going to happen.
Great.
Well, that's what everybody does.
Yeah, I know.
You figure what's on their practice squad's better than what you have on your 53, and you go, you're out and you're in. And if you take somebody from a practice squad, they got to go to the active roster. It can't be, hey, come to our practice squad, get off theirs, and we'll pay you a little bit more. No, you take them. The only way they go off practice squad is you got to put them on the active roster, which every player wants.
The Xavier Howard thing, by the way, is like, I know that they were looking for someone at that position. He must have something left in the tank, or nobody would have signed him.
I mean, I don't know what to say, Woody. Some teams, I don't know what happened last year.
I don't know.
He visited a couple of teams.
What Omar's saying, but Omar was like making a major push for this guy.
He's 32 years old and he sat out last year.
Okay.
Why would you sit out a year after? Well, why?
We have guys like that, though.
How many guys do that?
Well, we have Darren Waller.
No. Forget that. I know you're going to do that. That's something else besides ours.
It's not ideal.
I mean, usually guys want to get right back out, coming off camp.
Yeah, but what if he's fresh? What if he had a good workout or something? I don't know.
Probably did have a good workout.
Tex said Dolphins are not trading Phillips. It would be a dumb move. No one said Omar is out scouting cornerbacks as we speak.
There's a good chance he is down at the park right now, looking to see who's coming out there today and scouting around.
Has that become the second most important position out there? Or are we still going pass rusher?
I would go quarterback, and then pass rusher.
Pass rusher, then corner.
You got to go by what everybody's getting paid, right? Although wide receivers, the top guys those guys are what they're sneaking into $40 million a year now too.
Sean in Honolulu says Matthew Judon deal tells me Mo Kamara not good.
No, he's in big trouble.
Would you trade Phillips and Chubb with a pick for Micah? Well, yeah, but
they wouldn't touch that.
I don't think that would be realistic.
They would not touch that.
It wouldn't be just a pick, by the way. You'd have to give up a lot.
Yeah,
to bring that guy in, I would think.
Look at what he's doing right now at his age. If he's not the best pass rusher,
yeah,
he's the second best pass rusher.
He's right there.
That guy in Cleveland is not to be. He's just a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
But that guy, by the way, cut too. Like,
I know you're a fan of him, yeah.
Well, everybody's a fan of his. And by the way, he plays hard even on bad teams. He's still at the end of the year trying to beat the Dolphins with that group of.
Yeah. Texture says obviously a first and a second. Yeah, so that's like where I would draw. I probably wouldn't give that up.
For what?
For Micah Parsons, to give up players and a first and a second.
You'd have to give up a lot to get him, to get their attention. And by the way, it's just such a bad PR look that you hit on this guy and he's this good and you get rid of him. That deal should have been done a long time ago. And by the way, every time somebody signs for more money, he goes, okay, price went up again. Yeah, and Jerry's sitting there with that huge owner ego, and I don't know what his game plan is at all. But I just everybody wants to throw Chubb and Jalen in these deals. I think they're here. I do. Matthew Judon, I think part of this is you add more depth so they don't have to play as many snaps if they can keep everybody, cut back on their snap count and get them through. And the goal, I understand why they did it. I do understand. And I don't know how they feel about Murphy and McClendon, even though they're playing well against the backups. I don't know. But I do know the last 2 years, we have not been able to finish the season with Chubb and Phillips. Matter of fact, Bradley Chubb missed all of last year, and Phillips has missed the last 2 years. And so there you are at the end of the year, and you're missing some of your firepower for getting to the quarterback. And they want to make sure, as you said, it's an important position, and they need pass rushers. I'm just dying to see if they keep McClendon or Grayson Murphy on the team. And I don't know how good they are on special teams. Obviously not as good as Cam Good, who's really good. Anyway, we got to go to break. We always have to just tease you a little bit and go to break a little bit and tell you about Atlantic Men's Clinic, ED and Low T. Oh, my gosh, nobody wants to have it. And when you do, it's embarrassing. It messes with you. Man, I got to tell you, when I realized that full-blown everything in my 60s, that's a tough one. I was really tired, and my weight went at one point just a tad under 270. And you take that picture and you go, oh boy, I'm starting to gain some weight. And then you put those suits on. Oh boy, this is not good. And I wasn't active, was, cut back, wasn't doing the things. I was a little injured, so I wasn't playing tennis. Then I was like, maybe I'll walk tomorrow a little bit. I was just not. And then you eat the same amount, you gain weight. And then next thing you know, I go, oh boy, this thing, sex drive's gone. It's gone. It's not hit and miss now. It's just gone. Boy, if you're going through that, and it happens to every guy out there, I hope every guy knows that it will happen. You can laugh now, but you won't be laughing down the road, because soon, at some point, every guy out there is going to get low T and ED. Here's the good news. So I want to let you know, Atlantic Men's Clinic works. This is what they do. This is what they specialize in, knocking out low T and ED, turning back the clock and making you feel better. I want you to set up that first appointment if you're going through it right now. I don't need to know anything about you, but I want to let you know they have 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. You'll get the PSA test. You'll meet with their professionals. They'll go through everything with you and put you on a program right there that is perfect for you. Within a couple of weeks, you are in for great results, going, wow, I cannot believe how good I feel. I haven't felt like this in a long, long time. We've got a brand new location in Hollywood for you. You're going to love. Hey, professional program put together specifically for you, and great results as well. Just go to AtlanticMen'sClinic.com or call 877-455-7300. Atlantic Men's Clinic. It works, guys. All right, and welcome back. We had Mario Cristobal on early this morning, and we'll have it again for you here at towards the end of the show. We'll get a little bit closer, and we'll talk to him this morning about depth, competition, quarterback, and just feeling better overall about this football team with Notre Dame. Can you believe that? Notre Dame's less than 2 weeks away. My God, man, that's...
How are your ticket requests going for that one? So far, so good?
They're bad for both. And honestly,
really,
I made a decision to I'm staying out tickets. I'm not getting them. For the people I love the most, I'm not getting them because they're expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just not. And I love my children and I love my friends.
Oh,
but
you're talking
I'm not
that close.
I'm not getting tickets to anybody. I'm not giving them for anybody.
Okay, fair enough.
And, I'm not.
What about Dolphins tickets?
Yeah, there are certain games, but those are more requests that happen like on a Monday for the Sunday. Then that week, oh my God, my team's coming in town.
Parking?
I asked, parking. I always
get care of, right?
Got to get. Everybody wants to get buy a. Oh, I got to take the parking.
How are the seats, by the way? How are the seats?
Seats are good. You got to love that one.
I know you love that.
Yeah, they're like, hey, I'm getting you some tickets, and they go, oh, God,
got parking, right?
No, wait, no, they go, well, I thought they were free. You go, no, I got to pay for them.
They are free as long as they don't pay you back.
Yeah, they are free, and then they go, well, what about parking? But here's the third one. Where are they?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
Hey, no one wants bad seats, man.
No, nobody.
Nobody wants a bad seat.
Nobody in my life that knows me wants to go, wow, I didn't realize.
And
I go, wow, I didn't realize they're this much and not great seats, to be honest. Don't take it the wrong way. We'll call somebody else next time. But after a while when people go, oh, I thought you got free tickets.
Well, you would think you do.
Right?
I mean, I'm not like you would think you get a couple, at least a few per game.
So on behalf of our whole crew that travel with us, Dan Marino, Nat Moore, Jimmy Cefalo, and Kim Bocamper, Steve Goldstein, and myself, Mike Cunha, we do not get free tickets. We can buy them for you, but we can't get them. Mike's on the pregame.
I heard Cunha does get free tickets. At least that's what.
Call Mike Cunha. By the way, if you do need free tickets, your best bet, because he's probably the nicest guy of all of us.
He is a good
Mike
dude.
Cunha.
Yeah.
Mike Cunha doesn't have nothing bad about Mike Cunha. Like you look at Mike Cunha, we were talking about him the other day down here, and they're going, he seems like a really good guy. And they go, he is. He really is. Like I've known Mike a long, long time. He's that's him. He hasn't changed.
So you're saying there's some guys that are nice on TV, but they're not so nice in person.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
People turn it on and off.
Where do you group yourself in that?
I'm going to do you, clown. I want to do you.
No, I don't.
I'd like to think that I haven't changed, but I'm sure I have.
Nah, you're fine.
Well, not according to my wife. She put that sign up. Leave your ego at the door. I hate that thing.
The sign or your ego?
No, I want to keep my ego with me all the time. Then I tell her, we all have an ego, right? We all have some ego. Everybody's got to have some ego.
Yeah, you got to. Some bigger than others, but
anyway, hey, jeez, always gets into this stuff, Woody. You're beautiful. I got to tell you, if you get a chance this week, and I know we got the preseason football game on Saturday night against Jacksonville, we'll find out in the next couple of days of who's going to play and who's not.
You get preseason tickets or no?
Same deal.
Really? Discounted or anything? No?
I don't know what preseason tickets are, but nobody's ever asked me for preseason. Actually, my wife went to one preseason game. She's never been to a regular season game. My wife
has never been to a regular season game?
Since we've been married. It's never been to a regular season game.
That's because you don't get tickets for it.
She went to a preseason game, and she left. She called me, hey, we decided to leave early. I go, it's not halftime. She goes, well, we wanted to beat the crowd. I go, you beat them by 2 hours. And she just likes to watch them at home. She does watch them. Some of them.
Well, I'm guessing the get-in price for Saturday is not Not crazy, right?
No.
Is anyone playing? Do we?
I don't know. That's why I'm going to that practice. By the way, that's why I'm going to the practice on Thursday.
You're going to ask Mike?
No, Mike's going to let everybody know. I'm guessing on Friday who's playing and who's not. He'll get through this practice with those guys because somebody always gets nicked up at the practice, and he'll make a decision on. I know two of those guys going to want to play.
Get him priced $10 for Saturday.
How do you feel about Tyreek and Jalen Waddle? I'd like to see both those guys play.
On Saturday night?
Yeah.
Why? Because you're calling the game? You want to be entertained, or because you actually think they should play?
I think they need to play with Tua a little bit.
Okay. I don't.
Okay.
Because
that's right. You're afraid.
No, because
you're afraid
when
everybody's going to get hurt.
Hamstring, you're going to be the first one on Monday morning to rip Mike for playing him. So.
I do not second guess that part of it.
I'll second guess him for you then. If that guy
I never,
hurt,
when Bradley Chubb got hurt
game,
at the end of a game that was a blowout in Baltimore, I did not go, wow, I can't believe Mike kept him in the game.
That game counted, didn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
You weren't winning. You were down by 40.
Doesn't matter. This game doesn't count. Let him rest.
So Joe Burrow and his guys last night.
I don't care.
Joe was running for his life,
man.
He was. He was running for his life.
Yeah, real smart. Watch that guy get knocked around last night.
I was thinking the same thing.
Not that it's going to matter. I mean, he's going to get knocked around in week 1 anyway.
You don't know. You're playing the results right now of preseason football.
Look at these highlights. You see him? He got tackled by 3 guys on the
I got news for you. When that thing started last night, I was on it. The whole Monday night hype got me last night.
He was running backwards in zigzags like he was running away from an alligator.
They're showing. Then he got body slammed.
Yeah.
Threw the ball down.
Hey, at least they threw a flag for him, though.
All right.
That hit was way too hard.
Hey, we got more stuff to get to besides Softy. Give you this back off if you would. Mario Cristobal, head coach of the Miami Hurricanes, will join us next.
Sports lives here. 104.3 FM. WQAM. Miami's sports leader.
The Joe Rose Show is presented by Loctite Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Loctite Impact, South Florida's top-rated impact windows, doors, and roofing provider with thousands of 5-star reviews.
Life is busy. Luckily, Racetrack's here to keep you on track every day.
Running around and the time makes you nervous. Are you still a mom or just a taxi service?
With ice-cold drinks, hot pizza, freshly ground coffee, and even Swirl World frozen yogurt for the kids.
The schedule is packed with things that they have to do, but with so much to choose from, you'll find something for you.
Racetrack is here to keep you going.
Racetrack's gonna get you through.
Racetrack, whatever gets you going.
Hi, Joe Zagacki here for Williamson Cadillac. Get the most out of the South Florida lifestyle in a new Cadillac from Williamson Cadillac. New models are arriving daily at Williamson. This means Williamson Cadillac is sure to have the new vehicle you're looking for. The CT4, CT5, XT5, XT6, and the new all-electric Lyriq. Get the most out of the South Florida lifestyle in a new Cadillac from your luxury dealership located on US 1 just south of the Palmetto. Williamson Cadillac. Williamson is Miami.
Let me ask you, where can you find a meal for $19.99 that could feed an entire family? Pollo Tropical. We have the original family meal. It brings a whole chicken split into 8 juicy pieces, rice, signature beans, and 4 tasty rolls. And the best part is that it's always made fresh. None of that frozen stuff. The $19.99 original family meal at Pollo Tropical. Tremendo deal.
Pollo Tropical.
Chicken on the grill. Now open until midnight. Hours may vary by location.
Joe Rose here. Hey, you want to turn heads and cruise in comfort? Then it's time to call and visit Cliggy's Karts featuring Royal EV and Solana EV, offering the coolest street legal karts in America. Every Cliggy's kart comes fully loaded with a digital dash, LED lit side mirrors, backup camera, and fold-down windshield. All of our karts are low-speed vehicles designed with safety in mind thanks to thick aluminum frames and powered by efficient 48 or 72-volt lithium batteries. And only Cliggy's Karts offers an adjustable front seat in every 6-seater. Customize your ride with a bold paint job, soundbar, and LED lit to make it yours. You can find us right next to the Okeechobee Steakhouse, and you'll receive a $200 gift card to the steakhouse with any purchase. Just our way of saying welcome to the family. Call 877-CLIGGYS, that's KLIGGYS, or visit Cliggy'sCarts.com. Cliggy's Carts. Why ride normal when you can ride in style?
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay,
Ooh,
deep
high
breath.
Five, high five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank you. High five, everybody. High five.
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Traffic on WQAM is sponsored by Lexus of Kendall and Lexus of West Kendall. Your home for the best price on luxury. Now featuring the all-new Lexus TX 3-row SUV. In stock and on sale now. Call 305-KENDALL today.
Emergency crews still dealing with an accident in Miami-Dade. This traffic report is brought to you by Twin Peaks, sitting on 95 Express northbound at Northwest 103rd Street, blocking your left lane. And another accident. This one's out of Broward, I-75 southbound at mile marker 28. That has a right lane blocked. That's traffic. Amelia Escobar on FM 104.3 WQAM and always live on the free Odyssey app.